Sports on Little Falls Radio, sponsored by Bob Lemire Roll-Off and Refuse, Peterson Body Shop, Pine Country Bank, the Pizza Ranch in Little Falls, Schlenner Winter & Company. Flyer Sports, sponsored by Stand Up For You, Hilmerson Collision Center, We Check Explorers and more, Fleet Supply in Little Falls, and Ron's Oil and Propane. And this Flyer broadcast is sponsored by Midwest Machinery and Rudolph Auto Solutions. And tonight's playoff broadcast is also sponsored by Marshak Insurance, Chuck Auto Body, Pine Country Bank, and Advanced Physical Therapy. This playoff broadcast sponsored by We Check Explorers and more, Hilmerson Collision Center, and Fleet Supply in Little Falls. All sponsors of tonight's playoff broadcasts on FM Little Falls Radio, fallsradio.com.
All right, hockey fans, and a very good evening, and welcome to the Exchange Arena in Little Falls, where tonight it is the Section 6A Finals in boys high school hockey. As the number 1 seed, Little Falls Flyers rank 7th in the state in Class A with a record of 12-4-1, playing host to the number 2 seed, Fergus Falls Otters, ranked 8th in the state in Class A and a record of 15-3. Hello everyone, James Hershey with you. Glad to be with you once again for Flyer Hockey tonight here on Flyer Media Productions, also on Q92 and fallsradio.com. Christina is our game engineer back in our Little Falls studios, and joining me now is Jamie Pettit. And Jamie, how are you doing tonight? Are we excited for this one?
Been excited since I got up this morning about 6 o'clock, and it's a section championship game, a little unusual this season. It's at the site of the high seed. Normally, the Section 6A semifinals and finals are at a neutral site. It's been most recently at the Mac in St. Cloud, but because of the juggling of the schedule and the pandemic, it was decided that throughout the playoffs, the games would be played at the site of the high seed. Of course, the high seed tonight is the Little Falls Flyers, the number 1 seed, the number 2 seeded Fergus Falls Otters. On the road, we'll have to try to neutralize that Flyer fan base as early as possible. The two teams played earlier this year on March 8th. It was here in Little Falls, and it was a 4-3 Flyer win.
The games on Tuesday night, Sartell took on Little Falls. That was a 3-1 win for Sartell with an empty net goal. And of course, the Otters defeating Alexandria by a score of 3-0.
We knew it wasn't going to be an easy game for the Little Falls Flyers. Sartell had been playing their best hockey of the season coming into the game. And Ryan Hacker had the Sabres ready to play. The two teams had played earlier this year on February 20th. It was a 3-1 win for the Little Falls Flyers in Sartell. It was scoreless after 1 on Tuesday, a 2-1 lead for Little Falls after 2. Second period goals came from Nick Stevens and Carter Oathout. The Sabres second period goal was scored by Josh Kern on a nice redirect past Dane Kucher. And then we went deep into the third period before the third goal was scored for the Little Falls Flyers. Compliments of Hayden Johnson into an empty net. It became the insurance goal as Little Falls moves on with a 3-1 win over Sartell. An outstanding performance by the senior goaltender, Dane Kucher, stopping 31 of 32. The Flyers were outshot in the game 32-28, and Kucher had one of his finest performances of the season.
Well, this time of year you need to have good goaltending, and both teams have excellent goaltending coming into tonight's game.
Ben Swanson, the sophomore, we could kind of consider him to be a veteran. He played over 800 minutes as a freshman last year. He's played over 900 minutes this year as a sophomore. Got the 3-0 shutout in net for the Otters on Tuesday night as they beat the Alexandria Cardinals on Fergus Falls Otter ice. The 3 goal scorers for the Otters, the 3 goals were scored by Isaac Johnson. He had 2 of the 3, and Michael DeBrito added a goal also for Fergus Falls. So a nice night for Swanson. He was 33 of 33, a little unusual. Alexandria had the shots on goal advantage at 33-32. So the two teams that advanced were outshot in the semifinals.
All right, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll have both head coaches. We'll talk to Mike Donahue. We'll talk to Tony Kucher. We're about 25 minutes away from puck drop in this game tonight between Little Falls and Fergus Falls here on Flyer Media Productions, Q92, and fallsradio.com.
do your rehab, choose advanced physical therapy to help you recover and return to prior level of function. We specialize in physical therapy before and after surgery. Advanced Physical Therapy is located at 309 First Street Northeast in Little Falls. Call us today to schedule your pre- or post-surgical therapy at 320-631-2302.
Welcome back to the pregame show. I'm now joined with the head hockey coach of the Fergus Falls Otters, that being Mike Donahue. And Mike, I told you we were going to see you this time. You were hoping it was going to be in Fergus Falls, but unfortunately it turned out that we're here in Little Falls, which I'm okay with because I only had to drive about 2 miles, where you had about 2 hours. But how you doing, by the way? Are you excited about tonight?
Yeah, I think the whole guys are excited. It's the first time all year we had the whole team on the bus on the way over. The guys thought that'd be a great idea. Let's come over together. A great culmination to the year, a successful year, and just right into tonight and the rewards of their hard work, just like Little Falls is rewarded with their hard work by being able to earn this home game tonight.
Well, you must have been stress-free then, because you didn't have to worry about all the kids getting here in a car ride, right?
Well, yeah, I don't know. So it was pretty boisterous on the bus, but that's fine. It was good to see their energy and being able to be on that environment together. That's what it's all about.
Let's go back to the game on Tuesday. You took on Alexandria in your own barn, a 3-0 win. Your comments about that game?
Yeah, it was, I think, just a kind of a typical semifinal hockey game. A hard battled first period, kind of, I think, back and forth. We controlled, I thought, the first for a little bit. Alec controlled the first for a little bit. And Michael was able to find some open ice in the second period and ripped a tremendous shot and was able to beat Loken far side. And that gave us a little bit of life for a while. And then I thought probably the last 6-7 minutes, Alexandria kind of took it to us. In the second period, they trapped us in a little bit. Ben Swanson had a great period and was able to thwart them where we could go get a little bit of rest. And then we were able to, 5 minutes to go, spring Isaac Johnson for a breakaway goal. And then our guys just did a good job of that last 5 minutes, just kind of grinding it down and controlling the clock.
You mentioned Ben Swanson. Obviously, your goaltender pretty much has played every minute this year that you've had. When it comes to this time of the year, you have to have a hot goaltender. It looks like you got one tonight.
Yeah, he's been, I think, even going back to his freshman year last year when he kind of took over the reins. I think he came in here and had 24 saves in a first period, I think, last year. So as a freshman to come into this environment and be able to perform like that, I think really says something about him as an individual and his compete level. And, that's the reason he shows up. He works hard every day. Even when the guys are ringing him off his face, that's the next thing I think we're going to work on his shot so he can get a few of them back after he can catch that and knock it down. But, he's just a competitor and he works hard, and he's actually one of the leaders on our hockey team as a sophomore back there. 17
years at the helm for the Otters, still looking for that first state tournament trip, and tonight could be that possibility. Looking at this team, is this one of the better teams that you've had in your 17 years that has that opportunity to go to state?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as you kind of talk about a team and the way that these guys, they've even kind of talked about what they've experienced when they were sophomores, some of them ninth graders, and some of the growing things that they were able to take from the previous teams, the good and the bad both. What do we want to do to continue to develop culture, and what do we need to get rid of to develop culture? You look at things that way, and they've just done a great job with that. We've got excellent leaders. I know after we beat Wilmer and kind of clinched that Central Lakes Conference, and all the guys are like, Coach, we never thought 2 years ago we'd even be close to this position. So, it's a tribute to those guys. They didn't even think that that's where they could be at this point in the season. But when you look at the hard work and you put in that work for a reason, and then you reap the rewards at that point.
I know last time you came to this rink, unfortunately, you had a 4-3 loss, but you've been in this rink a few years ago and had a 4-3 double overtime win. So you can win in this rink, don't you?
Yeah, for sure we do. And that 4-3 loss, Little Falls was able to score a couple power play goals. We took 7 penalties that night. I think that's the most penalties we've taken all year in a single game. And Little Falls did a good job of putting our D on our heels. They were stretching them, and our D didn't have their feet going. So we were forced to reach and pull guys down. And if you're not moving, that's what's going to happen. And Little Falls did a great job on capitalizing on those, and those are definitely areas of the game that we need to be better at tonight.
Won't be the last year you play Little Falls, but it'll be the last time you get to coach against Tony Kuchar. Your thoughts about that?
Yeah, what a special night, I guess, for me. Special night for Tony. He's been a great mentor, I think, since I've come into the coaching reins. I think my first night in here, he met me right under the tunnel by the dressing rooms and was willing to offer any advice, any help. His number is readily available, and he's continued to do that. I know through my 17 years, and as you talk to all the coaches within our section, they would say the exact same thing. And I know that he'll sure be missed around our section, and I know he certainly will be in Little Falls as well.
All right, last question, Coach. You want to get to state for the first time in your 17 years. Keys to the game, what is it going to take for the Otters to get there?
I feel like I say it every time talking to Hershey, but that first 10 minutes, the way Little Falls comes out in this rink, they're always energized. They come out and play hard. They're going to attack us for those first 10 minutes, and hopefully we can withstand that storm and then just kind of find some momentum. And I think we ought to be able to efficiently move the puck out of our end. There's times where Little Falls has trapped us in the last few years. So if we can just move that puck out effectively, that'll go a long way for us.
Well, Coach, I've been to this spot many times. I'm 15 years of doing Flyer hockey, and of course I'm going to be rooting for the Flyers tonight. But if the Flyers have to get beat tonight, I'm glad that it'll be by the Otters, and you'll get your first chance at the state tournament. So good luck, and good luck tonight.
Well, thanks a lot, James. It's always a pleasure coming in and getting to visit with you and Tony and his whole coaching staff. They all just do a tremendous job, and it's always welcoming. Come in Exchange Arena.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Once again, that's the guy behind the bench for the Fergus Falls Otters. That is Mike Donahue. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk with the head coach of the Little Falls Flyers, that being Tony Kuchar. You're watching Flyer Hockey on Flyer Media Productions and listening on Q92 and FallsRadio.com.
Hello, this is Jeff Check, the owner of Check Auto Body and Towing of Piers. Accidents happen all the time, whether you hit a deer or somebody ran into your vehicle. We're here to repair your vehicle back to pre-accident condition with an average of 7 to 10 days. Give us a call today and schedule in your repair. Our waiting list is short because of our quick repair times. Look us up on the web or Facebook. Check Auto Body and Towing, Morrison County's largest body shop. Come check us out.
Fenner, Wenner & Company is a regional independent CPA firm dedicated to serving clients with professionalism and integrity. The firm's professional staff's attention to detail and personal touch promote excellent working relationships with their clients. The firm focuses on serving accounting, tax, and business consulting needs of their business, individual, not-for-profit, and governmental clients. Fenner, Wenner & Company in Albany, St. Cloud, Monticello, Maple Lake, and their new location in Little Falls next to the dam, providing high-quality value, added professional service since 1964.
Little Falls students are encouraging each other to rise up for mental health. If you or someone you care about is experiencing any mental health challenges, please talk to a trusted friend or mental health professional. On any given day, any of us could be facing extra stress and unexpected difficulties. As a community, we can rise up together and help ensure all students feel supported every day. All students need positive interactions with friends, peers, and adults on a regular basis. Today and every day, join Little Falls students in their movement to create more positive interactions for every student every day.
When you need your garbage removed, call Bob Lemire Roll-Off and Refuse in Little Falls. Locally owned and operated, Bob Lemire Roll-Off and Refuse is ready to pick up your garbage and save you money. No administrative fees, no contracts. They offer both commercial and residential service. Whether you need a roll-off, dumpster, or can, call them today at 320-632-5212. That's 632-5212. Bob Lemire Roll-Off and Refuse in Little Falls. Living and working with you in your community.
Welcome back to the pregame show. I'm now joined with the head hockey coach of the Little Falls Flyers, that being Tony Kuchar, and our coach's interview is being brought to you by Hilmerson Collision Center in Little Falls. Well, Tony, everybody's circled this date. They want to get here, but only 2 teams get here, and tonight Little Falls will take on Fergus Falls in the Section 6A Finals. We'll get to that in just a moment, but let's recap the game the other night against Sartell. Your comments on the game.
Well, I think it was a great high school hockey game. Back and forth, shots were even. Both goaltenders played well. We got a power play goal and an open net goal and a goal from our third line. So for us, that was just a great feeling at the end. Throughout the whole game, it was kind of back and forth, and we don't score a whole lot of goals. And it kind of just proved again that you get about 30 shots, you're hoping to get 4 goals and no open nets. And we knew we had outshot them before badly, and it wasn't the case this time. They outshot us by a 4 or 5 shots. So I don't think the refs came into play. It was basically a penalty-free game. There wasn't a whole lot of action going on that way. They just kind of let us play, which is very typical in a semifinal and a final game. I thought Sartell had some speed. At times they gave us lots of problems in our zone, got pucks to the net, and I thought Dane played extremely well for us, stopped a couple point-blank shots and a breakaway to kind of seal the victory for us.
Very physical game it was, a lot of speed. I thought some guys seemed like they were a little bit tired at the end of the game. I guess, what's the health of this team going into tonight?
Well, I think it's probably the same as Fergus. We both played hard games on Tuesday, and that's why I don't like the arrangement that we had in our section this year. We should have had more time in between our semifinal game and our final, at least 2 days, if not 3 with a Sunday in there. So. We're both probably somewhat a little bit tired. We didn't do a whole lot in practice yesterday. I talked to Mike Donahue too. He kind of said the same thing. We didn't get after it, so saving the legs a little bit. And there'll be a lot of adrenaline going on with these kids. So they're young. They bounce back faster than old guys like us. So, I'm sure both teams are going to be ready. And put it all on the table. It's a good thing that we're at home. We didn't have to jump on a bus and get here, but I think after a little bit of time of traveling and things like that, it doesn't come into play that much with the bus trip, but it does at home. You get the final, we get the final decision on what line we put out there, so that helps a little bit for some mismatches at certain time. But I think even in the Sartell game, it was pretty much first line against first line, second against second, and third against third. There might have been some obvious after a power play or something like that, it might get mixed up a little bit, but for the most part, I think that this will be a terrific game tonight, and we're just all healthy, and they're healthy, and so it should be a good game.
Your 13th section final in your 28 years of coaching here at Little Falls, 6-6, and I guess is your record going into this. And I guess I wanted to ask you, obviously back in the day you were a younger coach compared to now you've had that experience. What's the difference that you've maybe noticed on your coaching philosophy for a section final, which was your first one, to now your 13th?
Well, I think probably when I was younger, I thought I probably would make the difference. Being young and cocky and just getting out of college and thinking that coaching makes a huge difference, which I think it does for a little bit, but for the most part, you come to realize that the kids have to play. You can't play for them. You can guide them who's going out on the ice, and we can guide them on what they do on their power play or penalty kill or face-offs or anything like that. But when it comes down to it, Wes and I and Bob are just pawns back there, and the kids really have to motivate themselves, get out there, and they have to be the one that wins the game tonight for us.
Unique situation. The section finals is being played here at home for you. That's very unique for you because you've never had that opportunity before. How important do you think that is, especially for the senior group? This will be their final game here, and we found out obviously on Tuesday in the pregame your final game coaching here too.
Yeah, I think for the most part, I think you feel more comfortable at home. You can walk around. You can go into the locker room. They're in their own stalls. They don't have to get ready, jump on a bus. So I think it's very important that we have our fans here, even though it's kind of split 50-50 on how many fans come in. That's really, we really haven't seen that huge crowd that you get jacked up for, and we haven't seen that, even though there's lots of fans in here and they're great support, but that really doesn't come into play a whole lot. I think it's just the comfort of the Exchange Arena is what's going to help us a little bit be that sixth person on the ice for us.
Speaking of six, you've gone to the state tournament 6 times with a team. What does it take, I guess, for a team to get to the state tournament?
Well, I think they just got to get out there and just play and have fun. They have to put things together. Throughout the whole season, we've been talking about effort and attitude. They have to have a good attitude on the ice, have fun, And really, the team that's really going to work hard and really wants it is usually the team that wins. I mean, obviously, if a team is that much skilled, then that's a little different story. But that's not the case tonight. We're kind of match up the same. We got the same kind of a team. We got a couple kids that can score. We got a couple fillers. We got a third line. Both goalies have played well. Both defense are they run 4, we run 5, basically the same. So I don't think one team is better than the other, and it's just going to come down to who wants to fight, who wants to stay out of the penalty box. If we get good goaltending, that's going to be a key for both teams in the success tonight of what's going to happen.
What's going through your head right now, Coach? Your final game playing here at the Exchange Arena, going against probably the team that you've probably not liked the most out of the section. I mean, you have great rivals with them, but I mean, the team that forever took you out of not getting to state, and here the game is tonight for the chance to go to state for one more time, along with your son and the rest of the seniors.
Well, I think it means a lot to me that just the fact that we're here. Dane is a senior, ready to go, has played well this year. My final game, I guess I haven't really looked at it that I'm not going to come back next year. It hasn't really sunk in all that much. I know it's going to happen, but it really hasn't, really kind of sunk in that I'm not going to be here on the first day next year in November. But I don't know. I just think it's a special time for everybody, especially in the COVID world that we have right now. And we had we forget that we played 8 games in a bridge season at the beginning of the year. And that seems like many moons ago. I mean, it really does. And that was way back in October and November that we did that. And it just doesn't even seem that this is the same section or the same schedule that we or the same year that we had that. So a lot of special things going on tonight. I'm not going to try to let that affect me. Just be even keel out on behind the bench. One thing that I never want our kids to see is any of the coaches be nervous or anything like that, because then they'll get nervous. So just very happy, pleasant to the kids, excited for them. And I think that's the big thing when you talk about 11, 12 seniors that we have. I'm excited to watch them. Really, when it comes down to it, at the end of the game, the chips are going to fall. If we didn't play our best hockey, Fergus is going to go to the state tournament. If Fergus didn't play their best hockey, Little Falls will go to the state tournament this year. So I'm excited. I'm excited for myself. I'm excited for Mike Donahue. He's never been to the state tournament. So his kids are going to go and try to get that first state tournament for Mike Donahue. So we better be on our toes. We better play some good hockey tonight. And like I said at the beginning, I think it's going to be a great high school hockey game.
All right, Coach, got to ask the final question. Keys to the game, what is it going to take tonight for the Flyers to get their 7th trip to the state tournament?
Well, I think number one is we need to go hard to the net, and we've talked about net presence, being around that front of the net and getting some shots. We got a sophomore in the net, probably hasn't played in a big game like this besides the semifinals. We got to get to him early. We got to get pucks to the net early. I think goaltending on both sides. We need to have another game like he had the other night against Sartell, and we'll be fine if he can get in that zone again and play good. Play good goaltending. I mean, I don't know if that's actually an action playing goaltending, but I think he just needs to be the guy for us and win another game for us. And I think the last thing is I just think that kids need to check their they can't get too high and they can't get too low out on the ice. So I've seen this team be down to Sartell 5-2 and come back and win in overtime. So if we get a couple goals or get down a couple goals, they just got to keep fighting and keep working hard. And I think just their mood and don't get too hyped up and forget what you're doing.
Coach, as always, thanks so much for joining me. Best of luck tonight. We'll talk to you after the game.
Absolutely. Thanks, James.
Once again, that's the head hockey coach of the Little Falls Flyers. That is Tony Kuchar. Our coach's interview has been brought to you by Hilmerson Collision Center in Little Falls. When we come back, we're about ready to drop the puck. Little Falls, Fergus Falls, Section 6A Hockey here on Flyer Media Productions, Q92 and FallsRadio.com.
When you need quality repair, quality service, the only name to remember is Hilmerson Collision Center. Hi, this is Michelle. Our collision work is always guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. The reason we can do this is because of the great work our team here at Hilmerson Collision Center does. We hope you never get into an accident, but if you do, we're here to help. At Hilmerson Collision Center, quality repair, quality service guaranteed is not just a slogan, but our promise to you.
Hilmerson Collision Center is looking for full-time auto body technicians. Experience preferred, will train. Stop in today.
Fleet Supply True Value in Little Falls has everything you need for all your outdoor and indoor projects. They have a great selection of tools, kitchen, pet, and paint supplies, footwear, and so much more. Also, check out their great monthly bargains with tons of in-store savings. Fleet Supply True Value, your complete farm and home store. Located at 1800 First Avenue North in Little Falls. Behind every project is a true value.
If you're getting mighty hungry, well, the best in the country is Pizza Ranch.
The Pizza Ranch in Little Falls now has boneless and traditional wings for pickup or delivery only. Try one of their 5 sauces, only at the Pizza Ranch in Little Falls.
It's where life tastes better, so round 'em up and head her down to Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
Physical therapy provides care for individuals with pain, stiffness, weakness, and treatments specifically designed for post-surgical rehabilitation. The physical therapists at Advanced Physical Therapy in Little Falls are highly trained with doctorate degrees in physical therapy and have the experience and expertise to provide you with the most effective techniques and treatments to enhance your recovery and optimize function. Advanced Physical Therapy is a locally owned physical therapy center on the river in downtown Little Falls. For more information, visit advancedphysicaltherapymn.com.
All right, hockey fans, welcome back to the Exchange Arena, the site tonight of the Section 6A championship game between the number 1 seed Little Falls Flyers and the 2 seed Fergus Falls Otters. Before we get into more hockey, we want to switch to the wrestling mat for just a second because senior Gabe Nagel has won his quarterfinal and semifinal match, and so he will be in the championship here coming up later on tonight. We'll give you the results, and it'll also be on AM 960 KLTF, the match. So we'll let you know when that happens. And also at the end of our broadcast tonight after the post game, we'll have a replay of his championship match too. So we wish Gabe Nagel good luck tonight in his quest to be a 2-time champ in wrestling for the Little Falls Flyers. And of course, he will be on his way to the University of Minnesota here once he graduates.
Exciting night for Flyer athletics.
Absolutely. All right, now tonight is one of many games going on around the state, and I know Mark Deal is going to give us a look at Class A hockey here. And of course, last night there were 3 games played, and so we've crowned 3 champs already in Class A. In Section 1, it was Dodge County defeating Mankato West. In Section 2, it was Delano defeating Breck, and in Section 3, it was Litchfield defeating Hutchinson. Now, other games going on today, you'll have in Section 4, Gentry Academy taking on Matamidi. That's a 1 versus 2 matchup, followed by Section 5A, Monticello is taking on Northern Lakes. That's a 1-2 matchup. And of course, our matchup here, a 1-2 matchup. And then Section 7, a 1-2 matchup, as you have Hermantown and Duluth-Denfeld. And finally, in Section 8A, Warroad and East Grand Forks, they are battling also a 1-2 matchup. All of the finals in Class A were 1-2 matchups with the exception of the Section 1 matchup last night when Dodge County defeated Mankato West, who was the 3 seed, Jamie.
Well, I think one of the games that most people are focused on, in addition to the Section 6A championship game between Little Falls and Fergus Falls, is the intriguing matchup between Gentry Academy and Matamidi. Gentry Academy is the number 1 team in Class A. Matamidi defending Class A state champions. Something's got to give in that game.
And of course, in Double A, there were 5 games, champions announced, 3 more tonight. And right now, I believe after 1 period of play, Moorhead leading Roseau by a score of 2-1.
It is 2-1 Moorhead. Moorhead playing in the 8AA championship for the 21st consecutive season. Unbelievable.
All right, we'll get you score updates in the intermissions along with our game summary. It's time now to take a look at the starting goaltenders for tonight's game. Here's Jamie
The
Pettit.
Fergus Falls Otters are 15-3. They're the number 2 seed for the Section 6A playoffs. Their head coach is Mike Donahue in his 17th season. Starting in goal, number 1, Ben Swanson. As a freshman, Swanson played almost 900 minutes for the Otters. This season, 921 minutes, a 2.3 goals against average, save percentage of 90.4%. And in the 3-0 win against Alexandria, Swanson earned his 4th shutout of the season as the Otters advance to tonight's Section 6A championship game. Roughly 14 years ago, I was having a conversation with Tony Kuchar outside the Little Falls Flyers locker room. At that time, it was underneath the bleachers. And there was a young, enthusiastic kid running around the hallway. And I asked the kid, I said, "Are you a hockey player?" He said, "Yes, I am. I want to be a goaltender. I want to play for the Little Falls Flyers, and I want to wear number 35, just like my dad." And that kid is Dane Kuchar, and he will start in goal for the Little Falls Flyers tonight and wear number 35. He'll start his 69th consecutive game. He's got 44 career wins, 859 minutes this season, a 2.1 goals against average, save percentage of 91.6. It's Kuchar for the Flyers, Swanson for the Otters.
And we'll drop the puck after this 2-minute break. Section 6A finals coming up next. The Battle of the Falls, Little Falls, Fergus Falls. Up next here on Q92, fallsradio.com.
When suddenly your car doesn't look like it should after an accident, it's nice to know where to go. In Little Falls, Peterson Body Shop is known for their quality workmanship and reputation for reasonable rates. From body repairs to glass installation to loaner cars when work is being performed, Peterson Body Shop has been bringing quality service in the Little Falls area since 1963. Give them a call at 632-6156. Peterson Body Shop, Highway 27 West, Little Falls. Your best decision after a collision. Just ask your neighbors.
At Pine Country Bank, customer service is their #1 priority, so they thought they'd leave it up to their customers to tell you about their mortgage team. Very competent. They work with you the way you prefer, quick and to the point, or walk you through the entire process via text or email or phone. Extremely personable. They understand you and your personal situation and work with you on solutions. Other banks have more red tape and you're just a number. Pine Country Bank still has the hometown feeling. They make it so easy. With over 40 years of combined real estate experience and a vast knowledge of home loans, you're in the right hands with Katie Campus-Jackson and Cheryl Plouffe, Pine Country Bank's trusted mortgage team. Contact the Pine Country Bank today about your next mortgage or refinance. Equal housing lender.
Pine Country Bank, your hometown bank.
Little Falls students are encouraging each other to rise up for mental health. RISE stands for Recognize Your Feelings, Inform Others, Save Time for You, and Exercise Good Habits. 5 great tips for teens to practice self-care for mental health are carving out time every day for your own self-care, exercising, getting restful sleep, talking to your friends, and doing something for someone else. Practicing self-care, interacting with our friends, and helping others are great ways we can all rise up for mental health.
Welcome back to the Exchange Arena. James Hershey along with Jamie Pettit. Once again, our broadcast here on Q92 WYRQ Little Falls, streaming online at fallsradio.com and on Flyer Media Productions. And as always, we've done this year after year. Our final thoughts here of our pregame show.
Coach Kuchar talked about it in his pregame comments. This will be his final game, coaching the Little Falls Flyers at the Exchange Arena. The first time Tony Kuchar stood behind the Flyers bench as a head coach was on November 30th of 1993. St. Cloud Cathedral beat Little Falls 7-1. Since then, Kuchar's rattled off 424 career wins. Regardless of the outcome tonight, Kuchar's last game at the Exchange Arena, if the career is to continue, it'll be Tuesday at the XL Energy Center.
Looking for win number 425. And the Flyers looking for their 7th trip to the state tournament. Puck is down. We're underway with high school hockey tonight here on Q92, fallsradio.com, and streaming online at fallsradio.com. Quick shot taken there by Phillip. He goes wide, held in here by Inez. That'll be sticked out of there by Swanson. Still behind the net here is briefly touched by Hayden Johnson, and back the other way out at center ice. Here comes Isaac Young. He'll dump it into the left of the netminder, Kucher. First touch there briefly there by Tilke. Intercepted here now by DeBrito, trying to get it down to Tilke, and then Tilke goes into the net as he will knock the net off the magnet, and we'll get our first whistle 42 seconds into the game.
Flyer line chart tonight. Nick Stevens centers Matt Philippi and Hayden Johnson. Gunnar Gustafson's the second line center. Gabe Hirsch on the left, Robbie Kaczynski-Helgeson on the right. Carter Othout, third line center. Jake Jakowski on the left. Tower Morrison on the right. Six defensemen for the Flyers. Joe Majurley, George Moore, Marshall Inez, Colton Johnson, Colin Cray, Ben Rexted. Tyler Brickey also will see time on the Flyers' third line. Dane Kucher's the starting goaltender.
Puck played behind the net here of Kucher. Trying to clear it out here are the Flyers. It'll be Gustafson who flips it out to center ice. Glove down there by Partain, and he'll fire it in deep. Kucher goes out for a stroll, leaves it on the end wall there, plays it over to George Moore. They try to clear out to center. Kaczynski-Helgeson sends it over now to Gabe Hirsch. Hirsch gets it up to Gunnar Gustafson. Left circle, puts on the brakes now. Quick shot towards the net. That goes off the wall. Here's an opportunity there by Kaczynski-Helgeson. Now a wraparound attempt, and Swanson makes the save there as Gabe Hirsch tried to shove that in, and then some shoving after the whistle between a couple of players. As we'll get the tempers flying early in this one. Let's see what comes of this, and I think we're going to have a penalty here against probably the Flyers. I don't believe it's going to go any more than that, as Gunnar Gustafson will go to the box for 2 minutes. So first penalty of the game for either team. The Otters 29.2% on the power play, 21 power play goals out of 72 chances.
Gunnar Gustafson ushered to the penalty box at 1:17 of the first period. Otters with an early power play.
79.2% on the penalty kill, and here's a shot that comes in on Kucher. He'll just cover up quickly. 38 of 48 on the penalty kill. Flyers have scored one shorthanded goal this year. The Otters have given up 2 shorthanded goals.
Unsportsmanlike conduct call against Gunnar Gustafson. It happened right in front of the Otter net.
This will be cleared the length of the ice here by the Flyers. Going back to pick up the loose puck there is Ian Richards. Richards falls down to the corner. That was Stevens that had it for a short time. Now falling to his knees is Young, taken away here by Stevens. The lone guy goal that has shorthanded is Gunnar Gustafson, so he can't score that because he's in the penalty box. And finally out to center ice it comes here. Brought up by Thacker. Landon Thacker now sends it across there as he was looking for Tilke, and it's played back out to center ice. We played 2 minutes of hockey here. We're scoreless. Shots are 3-0 in favor of the Flyers. This will be sent the length of the ice. Swanson going out, Stevens coming in. He'll play it away from Stevens. On the left wing side, trying to get it out to center ice is Isaac Johnson. He'll pick up that loose puck. He'll slide it over now to Cole Zierden. Zierden normally wears 19, but he's wearing 33. That's his lucky number, I guess.
You wanted to wear Nick Stevens' number.
I guess so. 50 seconds to go here on the first power play of the night for the Otters. They've still yet to get a shot off. Here's Partain actually taking a shot, but he hit Niblock, and that goes into the corner. Niblock now in that corner. Now Zierden back to the right point to Partain. Now a little give and go here to Johnson. Trying to pass it over there to Sennstrom. And then it's played out to center ice here by the Flyers. 30 seconds left on that unsportsmanlike conduct to Gunnar Gustafson. 14:08 to go here in a scoreless first period. Otters maybe one last chance here on the power play as they get it across the Flyer line. Going back to pick it up will be Colton Johnson. Throws it off the end wall, but picked up by Zierden. Zierden gets it down low to Isaac Johnson. Comes out in front, fires a shot. Save made there by Dane Kucher. A dangerous opportunity that time by Isaac Johnson, but a good job by Dane.
Isaac Johnson had 2 goals for the Otters in the 3-0 win against Alexandria. He also scored in the 4-3 loss for the Otters to the Little Falls Flyers on March 8th as he took the initial shot from the left side, got the rebound and went behind the net and tucked it around the goalpost. Johnson loves to operate right around the opponent's net.
This will be cleared down, and that'll kill off the penalty as Gunnar Gustafson comes back out. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey, and it's nearly picked up there by Kaczynski-Helgeson. It'll be played ahead here by Thacker right at the penalty box, and then Gabe Hirsch will try to move it ahead. Intercepted the other way now by Thacker. Thacker tripped up, and no call, and just an offside call coming up here on the Otters with 13:24 to go here in the first. No score. Shots are 3-2 as the Otters were able to get 2 shots on that power play.
Had a chance, obviously, to talk to Coach Donahue for the Fergus Falls Otters in his 17th season prior to the game. Went through the lineup, looked at the line chart. I said, Mike, any changes from the last time the Otters played the Flyers? He said, Jamie, essentially our line chart has been the same now for 19 games. That's amazing.
Young coming in, had the puck taken away there, but can't clear the zone of the Flyers. Stevens now will throw it off the glass. Out to neutral ice it goes, and going back to pick up will be Andrew Johnson. Andrew Johnson gives up to Hayden Johnson, then got it to Philippi. Now coming in is Stevens with a shot, and that one just caroms wide. Not by much. Inside of 13 minutes to go in the first. Out at center ice, dumped back in once again here by the Otters. As Tilke will go off on a change. Keeping it into the corner now is Johnson. That's Isaac Johnson. Trying to pass it there to Niblock, his line mate. Digging it out of there is Inez, and Inez will send it around the boards on the right wing side. Partain fires a shot, and making the pad save there was Kucher, and it comes back out to center ice. Now it's intercepted here by Philippi. Fires a shot, and that one wide. Philippi got held up just a little bit there by Andrew Johnson. Back out at center ice. Coming across the line is Isaac Johnson now. Isaac fires a shot. Dane had no idea where that was, but he fired it wide. And back the other way now come the Flyers, and Majorly tipping it towards the netminder Swanson. And an icing call coming up here with 12:07 to go in the first. No score.
This is the 6th time these two teams have played in a section championship game. Fergus Falls beat Little Falls in 1997, 1999, and 2002. Little Falls has won the last 2 in 2007 and 2012.
And according to my records here, this is the 7th time that Donahue and Kucher have coached against each other in a playoff game in the section. I have it down as Kucher leading that battle, 4 wins to 2 losses.
Longtime rivals, longtime friends.
And of course, the last game that these two teams played in a section game was that double overtime loss back here in 2017, where Fergus Falls defeated Little Falls.
That's the only time the Otters have beaten Little Falls in the last 13 games between the two teams.
Yeah, and also if you want to dig a little bit more here, as we'll dump in here, that's going after it is Thacker once again. Trying to pass that back to the point. Instead, it's intercepted here by Carter Olthout, then taken away by the number 18, that being Young. Trying to sweep it ahead that time there was Cray to get it to Chakowski. He does, and now Tower Morrison will dump it in. The Flyer class of 2021. Now, back in 2017, Gabe Hirsch was the only one on the team, but they've played 7 times, the Flyers and the Otters, and the Flyers have 6 wins, no losses, and a tie.
It's a good track record for the current members of the Little Falls Flyers. Shots favor Fergus Falls 4-3. The Otters had an early power play. They came up empty as Gunnar Gustafson was sent to the penalty box for a 2-minute minor for unsportsmanlike conduct.
In fact, the Flyers have actually outscored Fergus Falls 32-15 in those 7 games played. But we saw it earlier, it was a 1-goal game here at the Exchange Arena. Colton Johnson now tries to keep it in, lost his stick, has to retreat back to the bench. Flyers were able to keep it in. Philippi now gets it to Stevens, right side. Philippi and Stevens trying to work together there. In the corner now, Stevens comes out with it, fires a shot on net, and a good job by Swanson to slide over from one post to the other, make the save, and no rebound with 10:20 to go in the first. We're still scoreless.
Nick Stevens had eyes for the left portion of that Otter net as he came swooping in front, and a nice save made by Swanson. The 4th save of the period for Swanson. Again, Swanson had to shut out 33 saves against the Alexandria Cardinals on Tuesday night, a sophomore, but he plays like a veteran.
Richards plays it out to center ice, tipped ahead there by Niblock. And then the Flyers will dump it back in, and we'll get an icing call coming up here. With 10:09 to go in the first, no score, shots are even on the board at 4.
Great balance for the Fergus Falls Otters on their top 2 lines. DeBrito centers Isaac Young and Carter Tilke. Isaac Johnson's the second line center with Zerden on the left and Niblock on the right. Those 6 forwards are the top 6 scorers for the Otters.
Just getting an update here wrestling-wise. Gabe Nagel should be wrestling here probably in the next 5 minutes or so. And if you want to listen to that championship match, you can do so over on AM 960 KLTF and also streaming online at fallsradio.com.
I assume Al Winsberger has the call.
Actually, I think it's Ron is actually doing the call, I believe. 9:40 to go. He'll be busy with the Royalton wrestlers coming up on Saturday as the team is there. Here's a chance by Niblock right on net. Save made by Dane Kuchar. And he holds on with 9:33 to go here in the first, still scoreless, but a couple of good scoring opportunities for the Otters as they've kind of tipped the ice a little bit.
Pass came from the left half wall, and marching down the slot was Niblock, and he accelerated that puck onto the net. Good save made by Kuchar. He's 5 of 5 early on here in period 1.
Carter Olthout, of course, he had the big game-winning goal against Fergus Falls the last time these two teams met. Squares it off there, trying to win that draw that time from Stenstrom. And here's Olthout at center ice with it. Carter will dump it in. The freshman will chase after it. Tower Morrison in the corner. And the puck comes to the line, not out though, as Moore able to keep it in. Picked up by Partain. Out to center it comes. Turned around there by Olthout, who'll dump it back in. 9:05 to go in the first. Still scoreless in this section 6A championship game. Out at center ice now. It's carried up here by Andrews. He's dumped at center ice as he dumps it in. Flyers quickly pick it up. Cray now tried to get it up to Olthout. I think that didn't touch him. It'll be an icing coming up here on the Flyers with 8:49 to go in the first, still scoreless.
You mentioned Carter Olthout had the game-winning goal against Fergus Falls on March 8th. He had the game-winning goal on Tuesday night in the 3-1 win against Sartell, as that goal came at 11:02 of the second period. Such a great play by Jake Chakowski to separate that Sabre defender from the puck. Got the pass out to Olthout, and he got it past Sigerson. Second goal of the game for Little Falls, and it turned out to be the game winner. We gave Jake Chakowski the Pizza Ranch player of the game on Tuesday night, as he made such a nice play in that left wing corner offensive end.
That we did. Nick Stevens loves to see all sorts of teams, but he really likes the Otters because he's scored 14 points in his career against the Otters. 7 goals, 7 assists. And of course, coming into tonight's play, Nick has 96 points in his career. He'd like to get to that 100-point club, but I think he'd rather have a state tournament appearance before that.
Well, Stevens is going to have to play well. He's an integral part of the Little Falls Flyer offensive attack. That first line is centered by Nick Stevens. Matt Phillippe's on the left, Hayden Johnson's on the right, as the faceoff's going to be just outside the Flyer blue line.
And his line mate, Matt Phillippe, doesn't mind the Fergus Falls Otters too. He's already got 9 points just as a sophomore, 2 goals, 7 assists. Another guy that likes to see the Otters is Gabe Hirsch. He's got 3 goals, 6 assists against the Otters for 9 points. Those are the top 3 scorers for the Flyers when they see the maroon and gold. Out at center ice now, picked up here by the Otters. They'll fire it in as Niblock, chase after it. Kuchar will play it around, gets it over to Gunnar Gustafsson, who floats it down the ice. They'll wave off the icing. Going back to pick up the puck will be Richards. Richards pasted to the wall there, nearly taken away by Kaczynski Helgeson. Now Majurley has it. He'll play it into the corner. Sent across that time there by Hirsch. And this will flip up behind the net. Hirsch trying to gather it in there. Had the puck taken away from him. And out to center ice to Niblock. Niblock tried to get it back to Zierden. Puck nearly intercepted there by the Flyers. Instead, it'll be controlled by the Otters at their own blue line. That's Isaac Johnson. That's sent through the ice all the way down. Icing coming up here. With 7:31 to go in the first, no score. We played 10 minutes almost of hockey, and I think the teams are starting to get more comfortable out there on the ice.
Well, Coach Donahue talked about it in his pregame interview that you did with him prior to the game, that he wanted to weather the storm. He wanted the Otters to play well through the first 10 minutes. Well, it's scoreless. My guess is Donahue will take it. They're fairly calm and cool on the Fergus Falls Otter bench. All the Otters are sitting down. Nobody's standing up.
Not early yet. Here's a trip in front, penalty coming up here as Hayden Johnson was about ready to take a shot. Instead, he got tripped up. And coming to the box is going to be Carter Tilke. And it'll be the first power play of the night, a Pizza Ranch power play. If the Flyers score on the power play, you want to be calling number 2. It's 6:32 888-2306, and you win some pizza from our friends at the Pizza Ranch in Little Falls.
9:35 of the first period. Carter Tilke for tripping. It gives Little Falls the power play. Last 4 games, the Flyers are 5 for 14 with the man advantage. They scored a power play goal Tuesday night. It came from Stevens.
Yeah, there's 17.9%. Tough angle shot there by Gunnar Gustafsson. Save made there by Swanson. Held in by Moore. Gets it over to Stevens with a shot there. That one goes over the cage. In the corner once again, this is Philippi. Now it's Gunnar Gustafsson, gives it to Moore, back over to Stevens. Stevens on the left side, gives it to Philippi. Now back over to Moore. Moore at the high slot. He'll skate over, shot taken there on net. Swanson with a save, rebound there. That one clanked off the side of the net there as Kaczynski Helgeson was in low. Now a chance for Moore, gets it over to Stevens, fires a shot, and there you heard it, clank the pipe. In the corner still, Stevens trying to dig after it there. Now Philippi gives it to Stevens on the left half wall. Still has it, Stevens with it, gets it back now to Moore at the left point. Moore thought about a blast, now goes over to Stevens, left circle, fires a shot, hit traffic in front, caroms into the corner. Touched there briefly by Andrew Johnson. Johnson lost it, Stevens now tries to give it to Kaczynski Helgeson. Helgeson has it behind the net. Now over to Gustafsson, back over now to Moore. We've got 50 seconds left on the power play. Here's a one-time shot there by Philippi, and that one just wide. Picked up here by Gunnar Gustafsson once again. Right side, fires a shot from a tough angle. Save made there by Swanson, comes back out to Stevens, now to Moore. Now once again to Gunnar Gustafsson, tries to pass it in front, and it'll be cleared out to center ice by the Otters. Quickly coming up, though, is Kuchar to play it ahead. Gets it to Stevens now. Left side, Stevens fires a shot, and that one fired high. Held in, though, by Hayden Johnson. Hayden Johnson then lost it, and it'll be cleared the length of the ice once again here by the Otters with 15 seconds left on the Tilke penalty. 5:35 to go in a scoreless first period. And the Flyers now leading the shot category 8-6. Majorly coming up the ice, drops it back now to Olthout. Puck taken away from him. Race after the puck now this time is Johnson. Isaac Johnson, left wing side, fires a shot. That one clearly cleaned out of there by Kuchar. Searden now in that corner, trying to pick up the loose puck. Penalty time has expired. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey with 5:10 to go here in the first. Picked up by Majorly. He'll flip it out to center. Touch there by Hirsch. Intercepted by Isaac Johnson. Sends it over on the left side to Sterling Andrews, but they're offside. With 5 minutes exactly to go in this one, no score.
That's a tough one to swallow for the Little Falls Flyers. They had a ton of zone time on that power play. They had good chances. They couldn't convert. Finally, the Otters cleared the puck, and the old secret weapon, and I guess it's no secret any longer because Dane Kuchar does it so often, as he whips that puck up to the offensive blue line. The Otters were scattering back onto the ice, trying to prevent the Flyers from getting a scoring chance, and Stevens ripped it over top of the net.
Well, he hit a pipe too. Here's a chance out for Colton Johnson. Fires a shot, and the net has come dislodged. With 4:48 to go, and we'll have a face-off down in the Otters zone here.
Of course, in the first meeting between the two teams, a 4-3 win for Little Falls. Otters scored a shorthanded goal, Michael DeBrito. They sprung DeBrito through the neutral zone, and he caught up with the puck at the offensive blue line and went in and beat Dane Kuchar. So have to be a little careful when Little Falls goes on the power play. Keep an eye on DeBrito.
Doing a little extra work here, the officials, and trying to get that net to stay on there. The sophomore Ben Swanson likes to use that net to push off on a little bit. Face off in that right circle. Trying to win that draw that time there. It was shaky. It's at least played in the corner for the Otters. Moore pinching in there. Pushed down behind the net once again. Trying the outlet pass is Andrew Johnson on the right side. And unable to get out of the zone yet. Colton Johnson still able to keep it in, and now comes out to center ice. Chakowski grabs it, throws it quickly over to Morrison, and goes up on a change. Now Moore has it. He'll come across. Low shot taken there. That goes off the skate there of Partain into the corner. Behind the net, picked up here by Andrew Johnson. And it'll be flipped out to center ice. Racing after it is DeBrito. He gets there first. DeBrito puts on the brakes at the right corner. Passes their time to Young. Isaac Young now bumped off the puck there nicely by Hayden Johnson. Fanned attempt that time by Moore to get it out of the zone. Tilke had it for a short time. Tilke behind the net now. Lost it. Tilke gets it back. Shot on net. Comes in. Save made there by Kucher. Pulled down that time in the defensive zone there was Stevens. Play continues on with 3:40 to go here in the first. Out to center ice it comes now. Trying to be moved ahead. Well, that could have been touched by a high stick there. They will be. And finally, the Otters do touch it, so that'll wave that off. Where it's picked up behind the net that time. And it'll be played up to center ice. Stevens tries to avoid a check on the left wing side. He'll come across the Otter line. Tries to get it up to his teammate there, Hayden Johnson. Now Stevens has it back. Stevens centers it out in front. Shot by Philippi. He scores! Oh, you saw that all the way as Nick Stevens saw Philippi coming between the circles, and Matt Philippi has buried it for goal number 19 on the season to make it a 1-0 lead for Little Falls.
Otters fanned on the puck, and it came to Stevens, and Stevens made a nice laser-like pass to Philippi. He makes the deposit into the Otter net, and the Little Falls Flyers have a 1-0 lead. Fergus Falls couldn't get it out. Stevens has it, went behind the net, and here comes Philippi driving towards Swanson to put the puck in the net for the first goal of the game. The Flyers have the lead.
19th of the year.
For the Flyers, number 27, Matt Philippi, with an assist, number 33, Nicholas Stevens, and number 19, Hayden Johnson.
So Stevens and Johnson get the assist. The goal by Philippi makes it 1-0 under 3 minutes to go here in period number 1. Play to the line, not out here. Zierden trying to keep it in. Cray trying to move it out to center ice. Puck now controlled here by Kaczynski. Helgeson sends it off the boards, and then the snow kind of started to move it towards the goal line, extended in instead of the goal, and an icing coming up here.
The first goal of the Section 6A championship belongs to the Little Falls Flyers at 13:44 of the first period. 19th goal of the season for Matt Philippi. First assist, Nick Stevens. Second assist, Hayden Johnson. Philippi from Stevens and Johnson. That's the Flyers' first line. They were all in on it. Little Falls leads 1-0.
Well, Jamie, they did score the first goal in the first meeting between these two teams. It was exactly the same way. Philippi from Stevens and Hayden Johnson. That made it 1-1 because Fergus Falls had scored first back a couple weeks ago on March 8th. But tonight, they take the first lead of the night.
Interesting symmetry.
2:30 to go here in the first. 1-0 Flyer lead. Quick shot on net save. Rebound goes right in the slot. Puck is in the blue paint, and it does not go in. How did that not go in, Jamie?
It was behind Dane Kucher. The Otters had a couple pokes at it, but eventually Kucher was able to recover, and I think he sat on it.
That puck was behind Dane Kucher. We could see there was nothing in front of it, and he somehow was able to cover it up.
Dane got back just in time to prevent, it seemed like an imminent Otter scoring chance.
2:13 to go here in the first. Out at center ice. Otters with it once again. Shot taken there by Young, and the glove save made there by Dane Kucher, and he holds on. Isaac Young coming in with 29 points. 17 goals. That doesn't lead the team. Isaac Johnson leads the team with 20 goals. And right behind that is Michael DeBrito with 19.
Offensive zone faceoff for the Fergus Falls Otters. Isaac Johnson, Cole Zierden, and Matthew Niblock, opposed by the Flyers' second line of Gustafson, Hirsch, and Robbie Kaczynski-Helgeson.
This Otter team, they can score. They've got a lot of goals this year. Here's another chance down low. And it went actually off Colton Johnson, and then it comes in on Dane Kucher, who makes the save. And now we got another penalty coming up here.
Well, Robbie
Kaczynski-Helgeson is going to go to the box.
It's the linesman taking him to the box. Roughing call against Robbie Kaczynski-Helgeson here late in the first. Time of the penalty, 14:58.
So a 2:02 to go. The Otters will have a full power play opportunity here to end the first period. As Little Falls leading 1-0, and the Flyers being outshot right now 11-9. Face-off one here by the Otters. Partain on the right side. Touch there by Isaac Johnson. Back to Partain. Partain with a shot, and actually that hit Zierden. Actually got a little help there, Dane Kuchar did, by it being hit by Zierden in front. Now it's Stenstrom that is. Shot there by Partain, save made by Kuchar. And he will hold on and draw a face-off with 1:39 to go on the roughing call to Kaczynski-Helgeson. 1:41 to go here in the first.
Kellen Stenstrom's a freshman for the Fergus Falls Otters on the left side near the blue line on the Otter power play unit. Partain's on the right side. Partain took that last shot, and Kuchar made the save.
Stevens was trying to see if he could go on a breakaway there, and Partain just kept it in. Now it comes back out to neutral. Stenstrom gets it back to Partain, over to Zierden. And that was knocked down here by Philippi, causing a little havoc. Now it'll be fired all the way down there by Moore, knocked down there by Stenstrom. Gets it over to Isaac Johnson. Now over to Zierden. Zierden comes across the line. Zierden's shot on net, save is made. Rebound comes back now to Young, fires a shot over the cage. That goes into the netting. And that should come outside the zone unless it was last touched by a Flyer with 1:03 to go here in the first, 1:01 to go on the power play.
Isaac Young's a captain for the Fergus Falls Otters. That puck trampoline back to him. He took a shot. It was blocked and went into the safety netting high above the Flyer net. Apparently it went off a Little Falls Flyer.
Faceoff will stay inside the Flyer zone, left circle to the right of the netminder, Kuchar. DeBrito wins the draw. That first power play unit is out there now. Inside a minute to go. Shot on net, save made there. That shot coming off the stick that time of Ian Richards. And the Flyers able to clear it back down in the Otter zone. 50 seconds left to go here. Doing a little forechecking is Hayden Johnson. Picked up here now by Michael DeBrito. DeBrito comes across the blue line. DeBrito, nice little move there on Colton Johnson. Backhand attempt on the side of the net. Played around the glass and all the way down by the Flyers. 29 seconds left on the power play. The difference of the game clock and the power play clock is 2 seconds. Good job there by Hayden Johnson to slow the Otters before they could get across the line. Otters back in their own end. 15 seconds left. Going back now is Andrew Johnson to pick up the puck. Maybe one last rush here. Moved ahead here this time by Tilke. Dumps it in. About 2 seconds left on the power play. Penalty time's expired. Now a second left here to go. Backhanded tip. Never reached the net. That's the horn. First period is complete. Flyers lead 1-0.
Well, that got interesting there in the late stages there, the last few seconds of the period. I could hear the Flyer bench saying, don't let the puck out of the corner. They wanted to just eat it in that right wing corner. It squirts free, and the Otters get one more chance late in the period. A good pace to the first period of play. Dane Kuchar was 31 of 32 in the 3-1 win against Sartell on Tuesday night. Kuchar had another good period, 14 of 14. Only goal in the first came from Matt Philippi, his 19th of the season at 13:44. A good 17 minutes to kick us off in the Section 6A championship game.
Alrighty, and just right now, as we speak, Gabe Nagel's match is just starting on AM 960 KLTF for that championship at the 182 rank for Class 3A. So if you want to flip it over, now's the chance, I guess, for a couple of minutes on AM 960 KLTF or on fallsradio.com, and you can listen to that championship match. We wish Gabe Nagel good luck in his match as that's going on right now. We will take our first break. When we come back, we'll have the first period summary. We'll take a look at scores around the state. After one period of play, our score, Little Falls 1, Fergus Falls 0. You're watching on Flyer Media Productions and listening on Q92 and fallsradio.com.
At Hilmerson Collision Center, they understand that when you've been in an accident, it can be a stressful time. That's why they minimize the confusion and inconvenience by handling the insurance claim for you. The experts at Hilmerson Collision Center take personal pride in providing a quality repair with quality service. For collision repair from a name you can trust, remember Hilmerson Collision Center.
Hilmerson Collision Center is looking for full-time auto body technicians. Experience preferred, will train. Stop in today.
Fenner, Wenner & Company is a regional independent CPA firm dedicated to serving clients with professionalism and integrity. The firm's professional staff's attention to detail and personal touch promote excellent working relationships with their clients. The firm focuses on serving accounting, tax, and business consulting needs of their business, individual, not-for-profit, and governmental clients. Slender, Wenner & Company in Albany, St. Cloud, Monticello, Maple Lake, in their new location in Little Falls next to the dam, providing high-quality value, added professional service since 1964. When you need your garbage removed, call Bob Lemire Roll-Off and Refuse in Little Falls. Locally owned and operated, Bob Lemire Roll-Off and Refuse is ready to pick up your garbage and save you money. No administrative fees, no contracts. They offer both commercial and residential service. Whether you need a roll-off, dumpster, or can, call them today at 320-632-5212. That's 632-5212. Bob Lemire Roll-Off and Refuse in Little Falls. Living and working with you in your community.
What do basketball, choir, drama clubs, and marching bands all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Minnesota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, hockey fans, welcome back once again here to the Exchange Arena in Little Falls. One period complete of this Section 6A championship game here at the Exchange Arena in Little Falls as the number 1 seed Little Falls Flyers leading 1-0 over the number 2 seed Fergus Falls Otters. In a very intense first period, had a few penalties and one goal to tell you about. And our summary is brought to you by Schlenner, Wenner & Company here in Little Falls. And with that first period summary, here's Jamie Pettit.
Section 6A championship game, the Little Falls Flyers, the number 1 seed, 12-4-1 overall. The Fergus Falls Otters, the 2 seed. The Otters are 15-3. Earlier this year, Fergus Falls had a 12-game winning streak. It was snapped by the Little Falls Flyers on March 8th when the Flyers beat the Otters 4-3. It's 1-0 Little Falls after one. Only goal of the first period came at 13:44 from the stick of Matt Philippi as Philippi scores for the 19th time this year. Fergus Falls unable to clear the puck. Stevens picks it up, goes back behind the net. A good pass to Philippi, and Philippi chips it past Swanson to give Little Falls a 1-0 lead. It reads Philippi, his 19th of the season. First assist, Stevens. Second assist, Hayden Johnson. Shots on goal in the first. 14 for the Fergus Falls.
Score, but they were able to generate some offense. Puck will stay inside the zone. Well, Majorly now going to pull it out instead. Nearly gave it up here. Actually does give it up to Young. Or check that being Johnson. And Johnson bumped off the puck there by Majorly. This is Joe Majorly now out at center ice. He'll give it over to Othout. Touched there briefly by Inez. Inez now comes into the play with it. He'll dump it off the end wall. Played around to Hayden Johnson. Minute 26 to go. Majorly trying to get it down low there to Gabe Hirsch. Hayden Johnson has it at the left circle. Johnson puts on the brakes, gives it back now over to Majorly. Back now to Hayden Johnson, left circle. Tried a backhand attempt, was knocked down, and then it'll be cleared the length of the ice here by the Otters and Partain. Kucher picks up the loose puck. Gives it off there to Majorly, who's being shadowed there by DeBrito. Taken away here by Young. Young tried to slide it back to DeBrito on a shorthanded attempt, but unable to get it to him. As DeBrito does have 2 shorthanded goals on the season. 4 shorthanded goals for the Otters. 48 seconds to go on the Pizza Ranch power play. Stevens brings it across the line and bumped off the puck there as Gustafson cleared the length of the ice. Kucher's going to have to play it away from Johnson, that being Isaac Johnson. And a little touch there by Philippi, trying to give it to Moore. Now Stevens has it at center. Stevens will come across the blue line, bumped off the puck there by Partain. 25 seconds left on the Pizza Ranch power play. Off the glass by Partain, back out to center ice. Flyers are unable to get anything going here on this power play whatsoever. Hayden Johnson moves it ahead now to Moore. Moore comes across the blue line. Moore gets around Partain. Moore now goes into the corner there with Richards. Behind the net, comes out in the slot, but right there is Zierden. He'll clear it the length of the ice, and that will kill off the penalty. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey here. With 11:18 to go in the second, still a 1-0 lead for Little Falls. That goal scored back in the first by the sophomore Matt Philippi, his 19th of the season. Otters have it now back at their own blue line. Played out to center ice. Colton Johnson dumps it back in once again. Going after it in the corner is Andrew Johnson. Collides there with Carter Othout. Kaczynski Helgeson now has it in the corner. Centers it out. Comes to Othout. Shot on net. Save made there by Swanson. Back to the high slot. Here's Colton Johnson. That knocked down in front. And trying to clear it out. Here's Othout now once again. Fires a shot. Saved there by Swanson. Rebound comes out. Now it's Majorly with a shot. That one kicked to the side. Finally picked up here by Richard. Tried to shovel it out. Couldn't. Held in by Majorly. Fires a shot. Hit the back that time of Othout. Going into the corner now. There was touched there by Stenstrom. And the Otters will clear it to length of the ice. And an icing call coming up here. So the best chance the Flyers had was 5-on-5 rather than on the power play.
The Otters just swimming around aimlessly in their own zone. It was desperation mode for them. And finally they launch it down the length of the ice to get a much needed whistle as the Little Falls Flyers were relentless in the offensive end of the ice, but Swanson was there to make the saves for the Otters.
Otters still lead the shot category 17-13, but trail on the scoreboard 1-0 because of the guy that has the puck right now, and Matt Philippi. Philippi back to the high slot. Colton Johnson plays it down low to his brother Hayden. Now Stevens behind the net, try to send it out there to Philippi. It's flipped to the line, and they say it's not held in. Flyers will have to touch up. Otters pick up the puck. They'll send it down center ice. Oh, tripped up there that time. Was one of the Flyers. I think that was Stevens. As getting a stick in there was Isaac Young. That could have been a penalty. Out at center ice it comes now. Partain back in his own blue line. Gets it over to Thacker. Moved ahead here that time by DeBrito. And they're going to go off on a line change as going back there and playing it out to center ice and all the way down to the Flyers. Another icing coming up here with 9:30 to go here in the second. Still Little Falls 1, Fergus Falls nothing.
7 minutes and 30 seconds into the second period. The shots on goal in this period favor the Little Falls Flyers 4-3. The Flyers did have a power play opportunity earlier in the period. Unable to convert. Now an offensive zone faceoff for the Fergus Falls Otters, and it's the Isaac Johnson line for Fergus.
Isaac Johnson won that draw. Isaac Johnson still with it back to Partain right side. Partain fires his shot.
Kucher got the stick on it, the top of the stick.
Yeah, it looked like he got the butt end of the stick that made that save and went to the wall. Behind the net now. Moore had it, plays it off the boards, can't clear it out. Shot comes from Partain. That one goes wide. Cray tries to flip it out to center. Isaac Johnson able to keep it in. Johnson now tied up there by Othout on the wall. Niblock coming over there along with Cray, and it slides out to center ice. 8:50 to go here in the second. And still that 1-0 Flyer lead. Out at center, picked up here by Zierden. Zierden comes across the Flyer line, gets around Moore, going out for a stroll and keeping it away from Zierden is Kucher. Can't clear it out of the zone yet of the Flyers. Picked up now by Stenstrom. Backhand attempt. Dane with a save there. Back the other way now comes Little Falls. Moore trying to get it up to Kaczynski Helgeson. That one goes wide. No icing. In the corner now, Kaczynski Helgeson just put a big hit that time on Richards. Play continues on. Out at center ice now. Richards is shaken up. He can't get back to the bench. He's right now at center ice. Play continues. They'll have to touch up the icing here. Or excuse me, delayed offsides, and finally that is waved off. Back the other way comes Little Falls. 2-on-1 potential as they had Philippi streaking through Hayden Johnson. Big hit that time was Stevens, who just put that hit there on Andrews. And we get a whistle and a stoppage of play, and a penalty may be coming up here, or just an icing?
It's a penalty. Interference is the signal. Penalty box door is going to open on the Little Falls Flyers side, and being boxed is Nick Stevens.
And Wesley Witashik wants to have a conversation with the official, and the official has nothing to do with it. He emphatically says interference and goes all the way back to the other side of the rink.
Stevens, interference, 9-10 of the second period. Otter power play. They're 0 for 2 with the man advantage. It's a 1-goal lead for Little Falls.
Well, Richards, good to see he's back out there as he was shaken up on that hit by Kaczynski Helgeson. He'll give it up now here to Isaac Young. Young will dump it into the corner, race after it, bumped off the puck briefly. Thatcher has it now. Thacker, that is. Thacker in the corner, intercepted there by Hayden Johnson and flipped back out to center ice. Isaac Young with it. Or check that, that is Isaac Young. Comes across the line. And played back out to center ice here once again. Tilke with it. Waits for the Otters to get onside, dumps it in, chases after it. First to get there, played it around the boards was Majorly, stopped though by Richards. Back to the left point now. That's Young with it. Try to get it down. That's Thacker to the right of the net. Richards shaking up still. He doesn't look like he's totally 100% out there right now, just kind of coasting back and forth. Big crunch in the corner, and DeBrito is shaken up. DeBrito got hit there hard by Majorly, and it's cleared the length of the ice, and we'll have a whistle to stop play. And Coach Donahue is just furious, and he's asking the official, how come that's not a penalty? And the official said, no, it was a clean hit.
Huge check to the left of Dane Kuchar. Michael DeBrito being attended to in the Little Falls Flyers zone. DeBrito's the leading scorer for the Fergus Falls Otters, 19 goals, 17 assists for 36 points. Mike Donahue had been pretty calm and cool up until this point, but he's fired up now. He's all riled up, and he's letting the referees know exactly what he thinks.
And so DeBrito still shaken up. Almost looked like DeBrito grabbed for his back a little bit, how he got crunched in the corner. We haven't seen a video replay yet. I want to see if maybe we can get something on that. I don't know. We'll see if the guys up top can maybe show that. But Majorly came over. It was kind of in that corner, and DeBrito was coming in. Majorly was coming over, and they both collided. And Majorly, obviously, his check went into DeBrito, which then put him into the boards. And the thing, Jamie, is when you get hit in that corner, it's not like like when you're hit on the side here. It's it's a clean. I guess it's but the angle might actually had something to do with how he got hit a little bit.
They are taking their time with DeBrito as he is in quite a bit of pain.
Well, they're going to have a couple of his teammates come over and try to help him off. I don't know if that's necessarily the thing they should do either. As the trainer Trent down there, of course, helps out the Flyers year in and year out. And it's good to see now DeBrito at least getting up to his knees. And then now he's really grimacing right now to just try to get off the ice.
Yep, Donahue still voicing his concern from the Fergus Falls Otter bench. The referees at this point are still listening.
And mind you, there's still a 54-second penalty here yet of interference that was on Nick Stevens.
And we'll keep an eye on DeBrito in the Fergus Falls Otter bench. Obviously, if he can't return, that's a huge void in the Otter lineup.
So still a power play here for the Otters. They trail 1-0. Moore now trying to dig it out of the corner there. It's got Niblock and Johnson there. Comes back to the point to Stenstrom. Right side to Partain. Partain takes a shot, knocked down here by Philippi. Philippi's got a breakaway here, chance. Comes in left side, he shoots, a save made there by Swanson. It's in the blue paint and he covers it up. Whoa.
Matt Philippi accelerating down the left-hand boards, cut to the net. Swanson got enough of the puck, but it fell out in front of him and it was sitting there unattended, and finally Swanson was able to cover up.
29 seconds left to go here on the power play for the Otters. 6:15 to go in the second, 1-0 Flyer lead. Coming across the line now, turnaround shot there, that was knocked down there in front by Inez as that shot, and that I think kind of stung Inez a little bit. He looks a little bit shaken up in front of the net as that shot came from Isaac Young. Still 9 seconds left here on the Otter power play. Thacker now fires a shot on, save is made and cleared out of the length of the ice by Hayden Johnson. That will kill off the penalty. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey with 5:45 to go here in the second. And this will be cleared the length of the ice. Icing coming up here on the Otters.
Well, DeBrito's being taken back to the Fergus Falls Otters locker room.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see any more of him tonight, the way he's walking back. Really, unfortunately, I can't speculate exactly what the injury is, but the way he went in to the boards there, I almost want to say it's something to the back area.
They're taking him around the back perimeter. Obviously, instead of going directly across the ice, they're going around the perimeter of the rink to get him to the Otter locker room.
Out at center ice, picked up here now. Flyers and Chakowski will dump it in. This is Morrison trying to pass it back there to Colton Johnson, but it comes outside the zone. 5:20 to go here in the second. And Little Falls leading by a score of 1-0. Puck played behind the net here by Andrew Johnson. Out to center ice it comes. Niblock now gets it over to Zierden. Zierden will dump it in. Colton Johnson going back behind his own netminder. Tried to play it away there from Isaac Johnson. Isaac Johnson behind the net now with it. Of course, we talked about this in the game 2 weeks ago. There are 4 Johnsons out there. You have Isaac and Andrew Johnson, brothers, of course, for Fergus Falls. And then you have the Johnson brothers, Hayden and Colton, for the Flyers. And a nice save there by Dane Kuchar. Another shot coming in on the net. Kuchar makes the save. And we'll hold on with 4:38 to go here in the second. Still a 1-0 lead for Little Falls.
And that goal came for Little Falls at the 13:44 mark of the first period from Matt Philippi, his 19th goal of the season. Just want to mention we've had some technical difficulties. We apologize to the viewers for the technical difficulties, and there might also be an audio delay. So again, we apologize as we do the best we can.
Well, we still got video. That's a good thing. And for a little bit behind, well, it's all right, you know. 4:20 to go here in the second. This will be dumped into the corner here. Played behind the net. Now centered out in front, intercepted there by Moore. He'll play it up here to Philippi. Philippi left wing side. Philippi trying to get around the man. That's Tarzan out there as he's getting a shift in now because DeBrito obviously not on the ice at this time. So definitely now the juggling of lines a little bit here by Coach Donahue.
Donahue forced to juggle the lines. Of course, he mentioned to me before the game that essentially he's used the line chart for his previous 18 games. Hasn't had to change the line chart, but now with the injury to DeBrito here in the second period, DeBrito's back in the locker room, and we'll see if he's able to return. Otherwise, the Otters will have to plug someone into his spot on that first line.
Hershey in the corner, now over to Olthout, bumped off the play there. Trying to dig it in there is once again Isaac Johnson. Isaac Johnson's been everywhere for the Otters. He's probably been the most visual guy out there tonight for at least Fergus Falls. Niblock at center ice. Took a hit there by Kaczynski Helgeson. And we get a whistle and a stoppage of play, and the faceoff will come here at center ice with 3:37 to go in the second. Still 1-0 Little Falls.
And that faceoff will be at the center red line. Little Falls has been using Carter Olthout on that second line this period. He's got Kaczynski Helgeson on the right and Gabe Hirsch on the left. So no Gunnar Gustafson on the Flyers' second line.
Nope, not right now. I'm just trying to see if Gunner's out there. Here now comes Isaac Johnson once again. Good job there by the defense of Majurli and Inez to keep him off. Kaczynski Helgeson now puts a hit on Zierden on the far side. Dumped in here by Hirsch. Behind the net, this is Olthout with it. Back now over to Inez. Down over to Olthout in the corner. Tried a little give and go there. It was Olthout and Hirsch. Still held in here by Inez. Hirsch now touched it. Olthout behind the net. Tried to go back there as Kaczynski Helgeson. And it'll come out to the right side. Majurli does a good job of pinching in. Tries to keep it in the zone and back out to center. Here come now the Otters. Zierden comes across the line. He's got Tarzan in the slot there, and it's played away by Kuchar. Back the other way comes Majurli. 2:40 to go here. Majurli still with it. Fires a shot. Oh, Majurli got upended pretty heavily in the corner that time, as it was Richards that put that hit on. Now it's picked up here by Colton Johnson. Johnson will play it into the corner. Comes around the board. Stevens now with it. Nick Stevens tried to get it on the tape there of Hayden Johnson. A little give and go. Stevens tried to slide it down there to Philippi. Philippi now is on the end wall. Philippi slides it out. Kick there. That time just wide as he tried to pass it over to Hayden Johnson. And Hayden Johnson's shot goes off the side of the net. Now it's Moore with it. Tipped wide there by Hayden Johnson. Stevens tried to play it out to the slot. It'll be cleared the length of the ice here. And icing coming up here with exactly 2 minutes to go here in the second. And the Flyers still lead 1-0.
The power plays have not been fruitful for either side. Little Falls is 0 for 2 with the man advantage. Fergus Falls 0 for 3 on the power play. Otters have had 3 power plays in the game. The most recent was that penalty to Stevens.
That was an interference call. And during that interference call is when the injury happened to Michael DeBrito. We'll hopefully see Michael here maybe in the third period. There's a shot there and a glove save made by Swanson. That coming off the stick of George Moore. With 1:48 to go here in the second. Shots favor the Otters 25-18.
Well, Gunnar Gustafson's clearly not in the Little Falls Flyers lineup because the third line's out and it's Gendro, Morrison, and Bricky because Carter Othout's been plugged in between Kaczynski Helgeson and Gabe Hirsch.
I'm looking to see if I at least see him out down there. Yep, I do. He's on the bench, but not in the lineup right now. This is Isaac Johnson coming across the line. Niblock trying to help it out. Here's Gendro. He'll play it out to center ice. Now it's Partain who plays it over there to Andrew Johnson. At center ice, Gendro knocked it away. Picked up here by Isaac Johnson. On net save is made. Rebound came out to the side, but Colton Johnson able to play it away from Zierden. And it'll be moved ahead. Stevens now. Stevens right in front of the penalty box. Had it taken away there by Isaac Johnson. Back down in the Flyer zone. 1 minute to go here in the second. And this, well, it was going to be an icing, and it still will be an icing, even though there was an errant stick there that might have slowed it down.
Had the Flyers' third line out against the Isaac Johnson line for the Fergus Falls Otters. And now with an offensive zone faceoff for Fergus Falls to the left of Dane Kuchar. Tarzan filling in for DeBrito, Young and Thilke on the wing. So it looks like they're going to try to use Tarzan in DeBrito's spot.
Well, Zach Tarzan, there's an opportunity now for Little Falls once again. Coming across the line, shot taken there by Philippi. Swanson with the save. Majorly able to keep it in for a short time. Played back out to center ice. Knocked down by Philippi. Goes off his skate. And it'll be played there by Tilke. He'll dump it in. Kuchar plays it behind. 33 seconds left to go here in the second. And a 1-0 lead for Little Falls. That goal coming back in the first period. Picked up here by Hayden Johnson. He'll play it in the corner. Tries to play it to the line. Get it out to center ice. Trying to move it ahead there is Majorly. As Stevens is kind of hanging out at center ice, but Niblock's with him along with Thacker. And finally, we get poked out to neutral ice. Just 9 seconds left to go here in the second period. Here's Isaac Johnson now. He'll come across the blue line. 3 seconds left. Held to the side. There's a second. There's the horn. And the period comes to an end. So no scoring in period number 2. And the Flyers still lead 1-0.
Shots on goal favor Fergus Falls 26-19 in the first meeting between the two teams on March 8th, a 4-3 win for Little Falls. The shots were 44-18 in the Flyers' favor. Much different tonight in the shots on goal category as the Otters have the shot advantage going into the second period intermission, but it's the Little Falls Flyers with the lead 1-0. And of course the Otters will have the opportunity to go into the locker room and check on the status of Michael DeBrito, the leading scorer for the Fergus Falls Otters, as he was taken back for repairs at some point there in the second period. So we'll see if he's able to return.
This is where we need
well, here comes DeBrito now. They're going to have him come out and take a little skate.
Yeah, it's definitely something with his lower back area, and he's trying to push off, and he just can't do it. And that is,
so it looks like his return
a tough thing to see.
Is unlikely. So the Otters will have to persevere without DeBrito. Without him in the lineup, obviously they're going to try to use, at least at this point, Noah Tarzan between Isaac Young and Carter Thilke. But sometimes an injury like that to a teammate can provide motivation.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, 2 periods complete. 1-0 is our score. Little Falls leads. We come back, we'll run down the scoring summary of the second period, and we'll also take a look at scores around the area. You're watching once again on Fly Media Productions and listening on Q92 and fallsradio.com.
When you need quality repair, quality service, the only name to remember is Tilmerson Collision Center. Hi, this is Michelle. Our collision work is always guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. The reason we can do this is because of the great work our team here at Tilmerson Collision Center does. We hope you never get into an accident, but if you do, we're here to help. At Tilmerson Collision Center, quality repair, quality service, guaranteed is not just a slogan, but our promise to you.
Tilmerson Collision Center is looking for full-time auto body technicians. Experience preferred, will train. Stop in today.
Fleet Supply True Value in Little Falls has everything you need for all your outdoor and indoor projects. They have a great selection of tools, kitchen, pet, and paint supplies, footwear, and so much more. Also, check out their great monthly bargains with tons of in-store savings. Fleet Supply True Value, your complete farm and home store. Located in 1800 First Avenue North in Little Falls. Behind every project is a true value.
I'm Katie Jackson, the home mortgage specialist for Pine Country Bank. I'm Cheryl Pluff, and I'm the loan processor. We try to make the mortgage process as easy as we can. We will take an application over the phone. We will take an application in person, and we communicate with the borrowers in any way that they choose to communicate. Sometimes that might be email, sometimes that might be a text message, and sometimes that's over the phone, sometimes that's in person. We're very flexible, and we'll work with each customer as to whatever's convenient for them. It's great to be a part of a hometown bank and offer the services that we can to help people get into their dream home. We had a client that came in about 2 weeks before Christmas and wanted to be in their new home before Christmas, and we were able to obtain that because of our hometown service.
Pine Country Bank is your hometown bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
All right, hockey fans, welcome back to the Exchange Arena. Once again, Section 6A Finals tonight here in Little Falls, and the number 1 seed Little Falls Flyers leading the number 2 seed Fergus Falls Otters by a score of 1-0 in a great hockey game once again between these two teams, Jamie.
And it has been, but I think from Fergus Falls' perspective, the injury to DeBrito might have overshadowed the pace of play and the activity on the ice in period 2. Again, they're going to have to most likely play the rest of the game without DeBrito. They'll fill someone in that spot, but again, it could provide motivation.
Well, the one thing you got to do is, you know, DeBrito came out, skated around a little bit. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to continue, but now you have the mindset, all right, he's not there. We need somebody else to fill in, like you said, and we need to do it for him kind of thing. So, like you said, it should give them some motivation in the third period. And I know Mike Donahue, we've known him for a long time. He's not going to give up on this game by any means, and they're only trailing 1-0 right now.
1-0. The Otters have had 3 power play opportunities. They've come up empty on all 3 of those power plays. So that's a key factor that works against Fergus Falls, but Little Falls has to be careful. I don't think you can go to the penalty box too often. You don't want to be sitting in that penalty box and give Fergus Falls a chance to score on the power play. Coming into the game, Fergus Falls with 21 power play goals. They can put the puck in the net when they have the man advantage. So Little Falls would be well advised to keep it clean and stay out of the box in the third.
Well, nobody put the puck in the net in period number 2, but Jamie's going to give us a summary brought to you by Schlennerwenner and Company.
The Little Falls Flyers, the number 1 seed. The Fergus Falls Otters, they're the number 2 seed. The Otters are 15-3. The Little Falls Flyers are 12-4-1. Only goal of this game was way back in period 1 at 13:44. 19th goal of the season from Matt Philippi. First assist, Nick Stevens. Second assist, Hayden Johnson. 17 minutes in the second period of play. Neither the Flyers nor the Otters scored. Shots on goal in the first, 14 for Fergus, 9 for Little Falls. In the second, the Otters also had the shots on goal advantage at 12-10. Through 2 periods, 26 shots on goal for Fergus Falls, 19 for the Little Falls Flyers. Dane Kuchar only surrendered 1 against Sartell in the section semifinals, a 3-1 win for the Flyers. He's perfect through 2 periods of play, 26 of 26. The sophomore, Ben Swanson, was 10 of 10 in the second, 18 of 19 through 2 periods. 3 penalties whistled against Little Falls. The Otters are 0 for 3 on the power play. 2 penalties whistled against the Fergus Falls Otters, and the Flyers are 0 for 2 with the man advantage. 34 minutes behind us in the Section 6A championship game, and the Little Falls Flyers, in a nail-biter, have a 1-0 lead.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll run down some scores around the area. As Jamie mentioned, 1-0 Flyers lead. Back after this on Fly Media Productions, Q92 and FallsRadio.com.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
When you need your garbage removed, call Bob Lemire Roll-Off and Refuse in Little Falls. Locally owned and operated, Bob Lemire Roll-Off and Refuse is ready to pick up your garbage and save you money. No administrative fees, no contracts. They offer both commercial and residential service. Whether you need a roll-off, dumpster, or can, call them today at 320-632-5212. That's 632-5212. Bob Lemire Roll-Off and Refuse in Little Falls. Living and working with you in your community.
You have years of memories in your home, the most valuable things you'll ever own. Let us help you protect what matters most. West Bend's Home and Highway policy provides you with one policy, one bill, one deductible, and one agent, while protecting your home, car, truck, boat, motorcycle, snowmobile, and more, all with no hassle and a portion of your annual premium back in cash if you don't have a claim. To find out more, contact Marshak Insurance Agency in Little Falls at 320-632-2328.
Little Falls students are encouraging each other to rise up for mental health. If you or someone you care about is experiencing any mental health challenges, please talk to a trusted friend or mental health professional. On any given day, any one of us could be facing extra stress and unexpected difficulties. As a community, we can rise up together and help ensure all students feel supported every day. All students need positive interactions with friends, peers, and adults on a regular basis. Today and every day, join Little Falls students in their movement to create more positive interactions for every student every day.
Welcome back once again. James Hershey along with Jamie Pettit as we're in intermission number 2, and it's a 1-0 lead here for the Little Falls Flyers. There are other games going on, and of course, there is a final already. Moorhead was a 5-1 winner over Roseau in Section 8AA, so they've stamped their ticket. Maple Grove looks like they might be on their way also. They currently lead 5-0 over Centennial. A game getting a little bit closer in Monticello now as it's Northern Lakes 2, Monticello 1. Hermantown still with that 2-1 lead over Duluth-Denfeld. Gentry Academy is saying, we want to go to state, we want to play at the X. They're leading 5-1 right now over Matamidi. And East Grand Forks took the 2.5-hour drive up to Warroad to the Gardens, and right now are leading Warroad by a score of 4-1.
I thought that would be a Warroad win tonight. Of course, with that game in Warroad, the Warriors are the #1 seed, playing on Olympic-size ice.
Yeah.
200 by 100, not 200 by 85 at the Gardens in Warroad. So it's East Grand Forks with a 4-1 lead. The guys on the Youth Hockey Hub podcast, they were high on East Grand Forks, if I remember correctly, at the beginning of the year. East Grand Forks and Warroad split during the regular season. Warroad won the second meeting. That's why the Warriors got the #1 seed. But right now it's the Green Wave in good position in that Section 8A championship game.
That's a little bit surprising, but yet not so much, because those two teams have really just battled back and forth year after year up in Section 8A. As we mentioned earlier tonight, unfortunately Gabe Nagel lost his match in the championship at 182. We will have that match in its entirety, the replay, following our broadcast here tonight on Q92 and also on fallsradio.com. That'll be following our post-game broadcast here at the hockey rink. So once again, Gabe Nagel finishing second here at 182 for wrestling in Class 3A. We wish Trevor Reduns tomorrow. He's wrestling for Piers in the AA. And then also tomorrow on Saturday, it'll be Royalton Upsala. The team will be wrestling, and then there'll also be, I believe, 5 individuals wrestling too, so we wish them the best of luck too. One other score to pass along. I know this was earlier, so let's see if it's a final now, but BBE, I believe, is leading Swanville by a score of 54-18. That might be a final. That is in girls basketball. That was a section championship game, so it looks like BBE will be advancing on. Upsala is in action tomorrow night, as Upsala will take on Nevis, that in boys basketball, and we'll have that right here on Q92 tomorrow night as we're in the tournament time around the state of Minnesota.
The Fergus Falls Otters have won 15 games this year. They're averaging 5.9 goals per game, but they've been shut out through 2 periods. Little Falls has the only goal in this game from Matt Philippi, his 19th of the season at 13:44 of the first period. Flyers coming into this championship game were averaging 4.2 goals per game. And you spotted DeBrito. DeBrito coming back to the Otter bench. He's got an ice pack, and he might just be a spectator.
I think he is going to be a spectator. As a couple of his teammates helping him out, at least to come over to the bench so he can sit there, but he's got the ice pack too, and he's putting it on that lower back area.
Talented player. He scored for the Otters in the 4-3 loss to the Little Falls Flyers on March 18th. He had a shorthanded goal by means of a breakaway.
Of course, just a junior coming in for DeBrito. He's got 86 career points, 36 points coming into tonight's game for this year. So 17 minutes on the board. Will we get a game that will end in regulation with a determined winner, or will we have overtime, which the last time we had a playoff game between Little Falls and Fergus Falls, we went not 1, but 2 overtime.
And it didn't end well. It didn't end well for the Little Falls Flyers as they lost in that double overtime Section 6A quarterfinal game on February 21st, 2017, as the Otters were able to advance to the Section 6A semifinals. The last time we had a overtime game in the Section 6A championship was 2018 when Alexandria beat St. Cloud Cathedral in double overtime. Cardinals went on to the state tournament and they finished runner-up that season to Orono.
All righty, fans are ready. Players huddled around their respective coaches, got their final words. Penalty boxes are empty. Goal judges are ready.
Here's Gunnar Gustafson. Gunnar Gustafson, who was absent in the second period. He's back centering that second line for Little Falls.
So here we go. Third period underway and a 1-0 lead for the Flyers. Out at center, dumped in here to Thacker. He'll play it back out to neutral ice. That's where it's controlled here by Moore. Sends it over on the near side. And it'll be dumped in here by Niblock. Left there behind by Kucher. Gives it over to Moore. Moore now moves it ahead to Hirsch. Racing after the puck, getting back there first will be Richards. Richards now bumped off the play there. Puck comes just to the side of the net there and taken away there by the Otters, and back out to center ice it comes. Here's Zierden now. He'll play it up to Isaac Johnson, who plays it back out to center. Goes up on the dasher, picked up here by Isaac Young. Young nearly had his pass intercepted there by Stevens. Stevens with a big hit that time as he put the hit on Thacker. And a penalty coming up on that.
It's been a tough corner. That's where DeBrito got hurt. Now we've got a penalty, and it's going to be to Little Falls as Robbie Kaczynski-Helgeson gets the ticket 50 seconds into the third.
So a roughing call coming up on Kaczynski-Helgeson. 4th penalty of the night for the Flyers. That means the 4th power play of the night for the Otters. They're 0 for 3.
Ill-advised.
16:10 to go here in the third, and a 1-0 lead. Puck held in here by Richards. Fires a shot on, and Dane Kucher saw that one all the way and makes the save, and no rebound.
They got the puck back to Ian Richards, the senior defenseman. He's a right-handed shot, lobs it on, and Kucher's able to vacuum it in.
Richards once again. Hopped over the stick that time of Tilke. Tilke has it at the left wall. Tilke in the left circle. Tilke with a shot, that one wide. Tarzan on the right side now. On the right half wall, the high slot. Fires a shot. Blocker saved there by Kucher. Played to the line, not out yet. Held in here by Young. Young bumped off the puck that time. Still controlled here by Thacker. Thacker now plays it over to Tarzan. Now down over this time to Young. Young now, turnaround shot, that over the cage. Karam's back over to the left side. Held in at the left point there that time by Richards, played down low, and then it gets past Richards and all the way down to Swanson, down in the Otter zone. Minute 10 to go here on the roughing call to Kaczynski-Helgeson. 15-15 to go in the third. As a 1-0 lead for Little Falls. Aiden Johnson now with a shot on net. That one's steered aside by the netminder, Swanson. Played behind the net, nearly intercepted. It is intercepted by Hayden Johnson. As doing a good job of
stick work.
Hayden Johnson with a slash there across Isaac Johnson. Isaac Johnson weaves his way through, tries a backhanded tap, and somehow it scoots in, and we're tied at 1. He just kind of went behind, flipped it behind his back almost, and put it in. It's a power play goal, and we're tied at 1.
Time of the goal, 2:09 of the third period, as Johnson comes rushing into the zone. Went between the legs. Looks like he shot the puck between his legs. Kind of an off-speed pitch that beats Kucher from a sharp angle to tie the game at 1. If I saw that correctly, he shot it between his legs.
Well, we'll see if we can get another replay on that coming up in a little bit, but we're tied at 1, and it's a power play goal.
Isaac Johnson with an assist to number 12, Colton Partain.
So Johnson scores the goal, Partain gets the assist. It's a power play goal, and it's back to an even hockey game at 1-1. Flyers coming in now. That's Stevens as he got tripped up. Back the other way now. This is Tilke. Tilke comes across the line. Tilke with a shot, steered aside there by Dane Kucher. Picked up here now by Hayden Johnson. Let's see how the Flyers react after that goal they gave up. And it'll be an icing call coming up here on the Otters. On the Flyers. 14-11 to go here in the third. We're tied at 1. Shots are 30 for the Otters, 20 for the Flyers.
And their fourth power play attempt. The Otters come up golden with a power play marker. 2:09 in the third period to tie the game. Isaac Johnson's 21st of the season. Single assist, Colton Partain. Johnson, just a talented forward for the Fergus Falls Otters, and he's got the equalizer.
We've been saying his name all night tonight. He's been the main difference, I think, here at least for the Otters so far, and he has made it an even score at 1-1. And as you mentioned, Isaac Johnson scoring that goal, his 21st of the season. Flyers out to center ice. Kaczynski-Helgeson picks up the puck, headed across the line. Puck taken away there by Stenstrom. Played back out to center ice. Dumped across the line now down to the Flyers zone. On the half wall now, trying to dig it out of there. We're not going to get a whistle here. Somebody's got to dig it out. Finally, it'll be Gustafson. He'll play it off his own end wall over to Gabe Hirsch on the left wing. Hirsch tried to pass it up to Kaczynski-Helgeson. It's knocked down, however, that time there by Shaky. Played back all the way down. Icing coming up here. Well, they'll wave off the icing, say that could have been played, I guess. Oath out now with it. Oath out, tried to get it back to the point. Held in there by Tchaikovsky. And then it'll be flipped to the line and goes into the Otter bench. And the faceoff going to come outside the zone with 13:04 to go here in the third, tied at 1.
3 minutes and 56 seconds into this third period. We're tied at 1. Little Falls needs some more time in the offensive zone. They have not spent enough time in Swanson's end of the ice, and they need to find a way to keep the Otters at bay, because Fergus Falls is fired up as they got the equalizer at 2:09 of the period on the power play.
Thacker plays it out to center ice for the Otters. Picked back up here by Colton Johnson. Colton fires it on net. And Swanson steers that one aside. This one goes up, and we get a whistle to stop your play as it should stay down in the Otters zone. 12:42 to go here in the third, tied at 1.
Flyers change their forward line. They come with that top line of Stevens, Philippi, and Johnson. All three were in on that first Flyer goal back in the first period, scored by Philippi.
George Moore now passes it. Tried a one-timer by Hayden Johnson, the slot. Fans on it. Colton Johnson plays it in the corner. Stevens now has it there. Stevens on the end wall. Stevens now gets it there on the tape that time of Hayden Johnson. Tries to wrap around back in front of Stevens. Stevens had an opportunity there. And a save made by Swanson.
Absolutely stuffed by Swanson.
Here's Moore looking for the corner. That one was head eyes, and a good job there by Swanson to steer that one aside.
Stevens very polite, resetting the net.
Stevens behind the net, gives it off now. Philippi back now to Colton Johnson. Shot by Johnson, and that one wide. As he had a shooting lane there. Held in by Philippi. They say it's onside. Stevens now trying to get it back to Philippi. Intercepted there by Tarzan. Picked up here by Moore at center ice. 11:50 to go here in a 1-1 score. Stevens back now to Moore. Took a shot, knocked down in front, never reached the net. Still picked up here in the corner now. Hayden Johnson had it. That's taken away and flipped out to center ice here by Tilke. Tilke dumps it in deep. Played around the boards by the Flyers, picked up here by Philippi, avoids the check there on the left wing side, tried to bring it across the Otter line, taken away, however, there by Stenstrom. Played back to the Flyer line. Moore now will move it ahead, tipped there by Philippi. That'll be no icing as they were able to touch it on the other side of the red line and get a change here on the lines too. Flyers back at their own blue line. Play it back now to the Otter line, played back to the Flyer line, picked up here by Gabe Hirsch. Hirsch now. Left wing side, had it taken away there briefly by Thacker. Hirsch has it back again. He's tied up behind the net. Puck now controlled here by Gunnar Gustafsson, trying to take a shot towards the net. And now it'll be controlled here by the Otters. Skating out to center ice, that's Niblock. Glove down there by Dane Kuchar. Quickly plays it up to Gabe Hirsch, who touches it, but he was on the wrong side of the line. And icing coming up here on the Flyers. With 10:41 to go here in the first, tied at 1, and once again, the tying goal coming by Isaac Johnson, and at a kind of a tough angle, and just eluded Dane Kuchar.
We'll have a chance to look at that replay later tonight, but I thought Johnson might have shot that puck between his legs.
Well, at least he shot it from behind, that's for sure. I mean, it was either between his legs or like kind of a backhanded shot.
It was a skilled goal.
10:30 to go in this one. As we're tied at 1. Shots are 30-23. Flyers have had the last 3. Here's Majorly working himself now. Little give and go. 2-on-1 developing. Shot save made. Rebound is in front. Unable to pounce on that one was Philippi. And the Otters get it out to center ice.
Good job by Swanson to stay with that puck and keep the Flyers away from it.
Hayden Johnson with a quick shot there, well wide. Philippi trying to hold the zone. And this will come back out to center ice. Picked back up here once again by the Otters. Partain plays it over to his partner on the left wing side. That's Andrew Johnson. Johnson had it at center ice. Now intercepted here by the Flyers. Moore touches it to Stevens, who fires it in and goes off on a change. 9:40 to go here in the third. We're tied at 1. Behind the net, this is Colton Johnson. Gives it over to Tyler Brickey. Tyler Brickey tries to play it to the line. Now some help there by Othout. Othout over to Tower Morrison. Morrison dumps it into the Otter zone. Morrison going after it. Played away from him by Richards. Morrison gets it back in the corner. Bumped up off the play there by Thacker. Intercepted here by Othout. Taken away there by Richards. And it'll be not attempted yet out to center ice. And finally it is Tilke playing it out to neutral back in the Flyers zone. Moore plays it back out to neutral ice. Richards goes back to pick up the puck. He'll play it over to Stenstrom. Stenstrom's now over. Touched there by Tilke on the wrong side of the red line, and icing coming up here on the Otters with 8:58 to go in the third. We're tied at 1.
Just a housekeeping item for the viewers at home. Fergus Falls does have a number 33 tonight. It's being worn by Cole Zierden. So those of you that have your Otter roster out at home, 33 is Cole Zierden.
Yeah, normally he wears 19, but 33 tonight. Here's Swanson looking over his shoulders. The play is in the right corner. Comes towards the netminder, Swanson. Stick that one away as Gunnar Gustafsson took that shot. Back out at neutral ice. Colton Johnson will turn around and fire it into the corner. Andrew Johnson going after it. Trying to avoid the forechecking there of Gustafsson. Gustafsson picked up the puck for a short time. And then it'll be Isaac Johnson. He's stopped immediately right at his own blue line. And Gunnar Gustafsson plays it back in. Now the linesman helps out a little bit there. Here's Johnson now coming across the line. He's got Niblock on the right side. Johnson sends it towards the net, flips up on Dane, And Dane makes the glove save and holds on with 8:16 to go here in the third, tied at 1.
Well, Isaac Johnson, Andrew Johnson, the sons of the voice of the Fergus Falls Otters, Mark Johnson. Mark Johnson's to our right. He's pretty excited. He's into it just like we are.
That's the first shot the Otters have had after the Flyers had 5 consecutive shots. Face-off coming up in the left circle to the right of the netminder, Dane Kucher. Carter Olthaupt will flip it up to center ice. Thacker going back to pick up the loose puck. He's going to play it away there. And we get a whistle and not sure. Oh, the net came off the magnet. Thacker must have ran into it. So face-off will be down in the Otter zone with 8:05 to go here in regulation. Tied at 1.
And the Otters will take the opportunity to change their forward line. Of course, with DeBrito injured in the second period. Noah Tarzan has slipped into the center position on this first line. Isaac Young and Carter Tilke, the wings.
Stevens takes a shot. Swanson kicked that one out of there. Stevens with it once again behind the net. Now Philippi has it. Philippi trying to swing it out in front to Aiden Johnson. Comes back now to Majurley with his shot. That goes over the cage, not by much.
Flyer defensemen have to hit the net.
Now it's Stevens. Dangerous pass over to Majurley. Just got it out of the reach there of Tilke. Behind the net, Hayden Johnson had it, but he gave it up to Richards. And Richards will send it all the way down. This should be icing here. And it will be on the Otters with 7:34 to go. And kind of the pace, Jamie, of this game has definitely slowed down.
Yeah, it has. It has slowed down considering what we saw, say, in period 1 and portions of period 2. Another offensive zone faceoff for the Little Falls Flyers. This line for Little Falls, Stevens, Johnson, and Philippi, they were on the ice when the Flyers scored that their first goal at 13:44 of the first period, 19th of the year for Philippi.
Cleared down once again into the Flyers zone. Colin Cray will pick it up. Finds an outlet pass there to Hayden Johnson, who tips it. Going back to pick up the puck there will be Andrew Johnson for the Otters. And this will be knocked down by Hayden Johnson. And then Tarzan moves it ahead. Well, they say onside are the Otters. Flyers now, here's Stevens. Stevens picks it up, left wing side, fires a shot, and that one goes over the cage. He had a couple guys coming back on him. I was hoping maybe Stevens would drive to the net a little bit there and maybe come with a backhand, but we're going to have now an icing call here on the Otters.
It's almost like Stevens could sense the pressure right behind him and pulled the trigger possibly a half second early and missed the net.
I think Nick would have been better served there if he would have maybe angled in a little bit more.
Maybe could have drew a penalty.
Yeah. 6:54 to go here in the third. Little Falls 1, Fergus Falls 1. Flyers led 1-0 going into the third, but a goal scored by Isaac Johnson, his 21st of the season, has tied it up. Otters back in their own end. Here is Isaac Johnson. Plays it up to Zierden, who tipped it in. Kucher goes back out. He'll leave it back there for Gunnar Gustafsson, who plays it over. Thacker has it. Now down low as it's touched here by Zierden. Try to get it back to Johnson on the side of the net. Tied up there is Moore and Johnson. Now Johnson wrap around attempt there, and a save made by Kucher. Another shot on net. Another save by Dane as Thacker with that shot. Flyers are kind of watching right now. They need to go after the puck, and finally Moore comes over, puts a hit on, and then Kaczynski Helgeson at least gets it out to center ice.
They need to keep a close eye on Isaac Johnson.
Well, but they're also watching the great saves of Dane, but they need to be the ones that need to make sure that Dane doesn't have to make the save.
Johnson made a Houdini-like escape back behind the Flyer net.
Out at center ice, puck bounces now to Hayden Johnson. Had it tipped away there by Andrew Johnson. And tried to now slide it there to Philippi. Picked up by Stevens. Back over to Philippi. Philippi bobbles it a little bit and then gets it over to Hayden Johnson. Back now to Majurley. Majurley back now on the tape there of Hayden Johnson. Goes over his stick. Partain has it and plays it up into the crowd, actually. And we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. Face-off going to stay in the Otter zone with 5:26 to go. But Jamie, I know you're shaking your head because Matt Philippi maybe had a great opportunity between the circles.
It was a good pass from Stevens, and Philippi, it was too hot to handle apparently.
And he bobbled it a little bit and just couldn't get a shot off. They're able to keep it in the zone though. Philippi in the corner, bottled up there by Partain. Philippi tried to center it out in front. Stevens unable to get it. And back the other way now comes Tarzan. Noah Tarzan, that is. Out at center, had it, lost it. Back the other way now comes Stevens. Runs into a player, and that being Richards. 5 minutes to go in regulation. And we're tied at 1. Fanned on as the entry pass that time, as that was Isaac Johnson. Goes off the back of a skate that time, that being Richards. Richards now will drive it across at least. Picked up here now. Quick shot taken there by Zierden. Hit traffic in front. Back now to the right point it comes. Goes off the high glass. Played to the side, not out. Thacker now going to play it back in deep. Here's Zierden trying to play it off the side of the net. Now plays it off the end wall. Picked up here by Colton Johnson. Isaac Johnson comes in, takes it away from Colton. Then Philippi comes over. He can't clear it out of the zone yet. Still controlled here by the Otters and Niblock. He'll play it in deep. 4:20 to go here in the third. And the Flyers just have to relieve the pressure. And they'll send it the length of the ice. As the Otters have had some good offensive play here in the last minute or so.
Flyers are having a tough time containing the Isaac Johnson line. Zierden's on the left, Niblock's on the right. They've had some good chances in this period. Of course, Isaac Johnson tied this game at 2:09 of period 3 on the power play. His 21st goal of the season. Offensive zone faceoff for the Fergus Falls Otters to the right of Dane Kuchar.
Face-off coming up. Shaky going to face it off with Othout in that left circle. Othout wins the draw, pushes it back to the end wall. Inez will play it over to Moore. And out to center ice now. It comes back in. Now Inez has it again, tries to play it ahead. Offsides there is Morrison, so they have to touch back up. They do. Otters have possession of the puck. Left wing side. It'll be played in now by Andrew Johnson. Gets it there on the tape for Shaky. Shaky now to Senstrom. Senstrom slides it over there to Andrews, who touched it, played it back behind the net once again. First to get there for the Otters that time is Shaky. Back to the point. Shot goes wide off the stick there of Andrew Johnson. 3:40 to go here in the third. Turnaround shot there, knocked down in front by George Moore. Moore gets it over to his partner Inez. Inez now trying to move it ahead. Puck comes in front of the Flyer bench here. Tarzan picks up the loose puck. Morrison now has it. Tarzan now try to slide it back over in front as he had a man there, that being Andrews. Flyers cannot get it out of the zone, and finally they flip it out to center ice and will change up.
They needed a change. Good play by George Moore to get it into the Otters zone.
This will get through everyone, but it will be touched by Tarzan, so waves off the icing. Still back down in the Flyer zone. 3:05 to go in regulation. Puck comes out in the circle to Tarzan. Turnaround shot taken there by Tilke. Glove save easily made there by Kuchar. And he holds on with 2:59 to go here in regulation. Tied at 1, and the shots here in the last 6 minutes or so have favored the Otters 4-1.
In this period, Fergus Falls with 8 shots on goal, 7 for the Little Falls Flyers.
But the momentum is definitely the Otters' way right now. Otters still have it. Richards with it. That one goes off the skate of Hayden Johnson. Philippi throws it high off the glass. Hayden Johnson trying to pick it up at the Otter blue line. Instead it'll be Richards. Plays it out to center. Bumped down right below us here is Tilke there, along with one of the Flyers, that being Stevens. Stevens gets it out to Hayden Johnson. Wildly throws a pass, but right on the stick there that time of Young. Young now gets it here to Isaac Johnson. Gets across the blue line, comes back now to Thacker at the right side. Thacker takes the shot, caroms back over to the left side now. On the tape here of Andrew Johnson. That tipped in front there by his brother Isaac. And Kuchar is able to make the save. Keeps the paddle down and the play in the corner. 2:15 to go here in the third. Tied up in the corner now, this is Isaac Johnson. Played away here, and it'll be flipped up and out to center ice here by Hayden Johnson. And icing coming up once again here on the Flyers with 2:03 to go here in the third, tied at 1.
I feel like the Flyers need some extra life vests right now. They're trying to hold on, they're trying to survive, but it seems like it's been the Fergus Falls Otters that have taken the momentum in this game, and they've had more scoring opportunities in the last few minutes.
I think they need to borrow that boat from your deserted island right now. Start bailing, boys. Trying to hold it in and able to do so is Johnson. Now back the other way comes Gunnar Gustafsson. Gustafsson right side. Gustafsson, tough angle shot. Save made there by Swanson. And he holds on with no rebound with 1:52 to go here in the third, tied at 1.
And an offensive zone faceoff upcoming for the Little Falls Flyers. To the left of Swanson. Swanson for the Fergus Falls Otters is 25 of 26. Dane Kuchar for the Little Falls Flyers is 35 of 36.
Well, both coaches have a timeout each. Well, they're going to hang on to that for a while. Back down to the point here to Johnson. That's Colton Johnson trying to get it to Hirsch. Turnaround shot by Gustafson. Hits some traffic and caromed wide. Back out to neutral ice now, and back at the blue line is Colton Johnson. Plays it over to Gunnar Gustafson. Bouncing puck, and that one kind of eluded Swanson as it goes behind the net. Held in here by George Moore. Moore now in the slot, fires a shot, hit traffic in front. Tarzan has it. He'll float it all over here to Tilke. Tilke now will dump it in, go off on a change. 1:15 to go in regulation. Tied at 1. Ooh, that was dangerous there as Isaac Johnson nearly picked up the puck at the blue line. Instead, it'll be Moore that'll play it down. He'll go off on a change. And as we're down to the final minute, we've played 50 minutes of hockey and we're still tied at 1. And offsides is the call here on the Flyers as the faceoff will come outside the outer blue line.
I don't think it's any surprise to many. It's a tight one. Looks like it's going to be a 1-goal game unless someone scores quickly and then gets an empty netter. But this is intense. This is what we've been looking forward to since January.
As advertised here on Flyer Media Productions, Q92 and FallsRadio.com. Hold on, buckle up. They'll wave off the icing. Partain plays it around. Little give and go, trying to get it to Isaac Johnson. Stopped there for a second, caught up in the skates of Stevens. Played out at center ice, but Shirley tried to move it ahead. And this will go all the way back down in the Flyer end. It will be picked up by Inez. 30 seconds left to go. Hayden Johnson now will flip it out to center ice. He's got Philippi there. Philippi trying to get around. Philippi does, then still gets to his feet. Tries to pass it out in front. Tipped just wide there. As coming in there was the senior captain, Joe Majerle. 14 seconds left to go here in regulation. Inez plays it off the boards. Held in by Johnson. That one down low. Opportunity. Good job there by Hayden Johnson to play it away. 4 seconds left. 3 seconds left. And we are going to overtime. As we are tied at 1. Little Falls, Fergus Falls. You knew it was going to happen, didn't you, Jamie?
Well, we talked about the last time the Fergus Falls Otters were able to beat the Little Falls Flyers was on February 21st of 2017. It was a 4-3 double overtime win for the Otters. Two teams played earlier this season. It was a 4-3 win for Little Falls on this ice. 1-1, we go to overtime to decide the Section 6A championship. The winner will advance to play Tuesday at the Xcel Energy Center. The stakes have not been higher for either team in quite some time. Fergus Falls hasn't been to the state tournament since 2003. Little Falls hasn't been to the state tournament since 2012. One of these teams at some point tonight will advance.
Well, we'll be here all night until somebody scores. All right, let's take a look at the summary here, brought to you by Schlenner, Wenner and Company. And Jamie, there's one goal to talk about, and that's the game-tying goal by Isaac Johnson on the power play.
Flyers led 1-0 after 1, 2-0 after 2. The Flyer goal was scored at 13:44 of the first period from Matt Philippi, his 19th of the season. Otters got a power play early in the third period, and they get the equalizer from the sophomore, Isaac Johnson. Johnson's 21st goal of the season. Single assist on the Johnson goal to Colton Partain. Johnson from Partain, Johnson's 21st of the season on the power play early in the third, tied the game 1-1. Shots on goal in the third period, 10 for the Otters, 7 for the Flyers. Through 2 periods, Fergus Falls has through regulation, through 3 periods, Otters have the shots on goal advantage, 36-26. In the Flyer net, Dane Kuchar is 35 of 36. In the Otter net, Ben Swanson is 25 of 26. 4 penalties whistled against Little Falls. 2 penalties to the Fergus Falls Otters. Little Falls is 0 for 2 on the power play. Fergus Falls 1 for 4 with the man advantage. Fergus Falls is 15 and 3. The Little Falls Flyers are 12, 4 and 1. We're going to overtime, tied 1-1.
And we're breaking all sorts of records on Flyer Media Productions. We're just shy right now of 1,700 people watching our game right now here as Little Falls and Fergus Falls are in a deadlock 1-1 tie. And the third period as that 1 goal scored by Isaac Johnson, as you mentioned, to propel this game into overtime. And here is that goal once again.
Isaac Johnson down the left, and I think he did shoot it between his legs. If not, it was just off his skate, but from that replay, it looks like he might have shot that puck between his legs.
Well, Gentry Academy is heading to the state tournament. They win 7-3 over Matamidi. Warroad and East Grand Forks are tied at 4. Northern Lakes leading Monticello 5-2. And of course, Maple Lake right now a 7-0 lead over Centennial. Moorhead won earlier, 5-1 over Roseau. Hermantown 4-1 right now over Duluth Denfeld. Here it is 1-1. The goaltenders have switched ends. 8-minute sudden death. If they don't score, we'll have a resurface and a full 17 for overtime number 2. Puck's down, we're underway with overtime. Next goal sends a team to state. Who's it gonna be? Played it into the Otter bench here as it goes off Thacker, and the faceoff should come outside the zone as we're just 11 seconds into the overtime frame.
Flyers start the overtime with Stevens, Philippi, and Hayden Johnson up front. Fergus Falls elects to go with Johnson, Zierden, and Niblock.
Zierden will dump it in. Goes behind the net. This is Moore. He'll play it over. Well, unable to get it out of the zone. Blast there, knocked down by Stevens. Stevens tripped up. Penalty coming here on the Otters. Stevens picks it up still. He gets it to Philippi. He shoots. Oh, Philippi clanked the pipe. Philippi clanked the pipe. And the Flyers were that close to going to the state tournament. But they will go on the power play.
31 seconds into overtime. It's going to be a Little Falls Flyer power play. The delayed call, the Flyers continued on, and Philippi hit the inside of the left goalpost from our perspective.
He was that close to sending the Flyers to the state tournament without even having to have the power play.
Otter penalty to Ian Richards for tripping. 31 seconds of overtime. Flyer power play, third of the night. They're 0 for 2 with the man advantage.
You know what that is, too? It's a Pizza Ranch power play. If the Flyers score on the power play, somebody's going to win some pizza, and there's going to be 20-plus players excited because they'll be going to state. Minute 50 to go here on the power play. 7:17 to go in the first overtime. Stevens able to keep it in at the left point. Being shadowed there by Young. Stevens in the corner now with it. Tried to get it to Philippi, or check that, that's Kaczynski Halgeson. Played away there, but back now to Stevens' stick. He'll gingerly play it back to Moore. Now back to Stevens. Stevens fires a shot, and that one wide. Gunnar Gustafson now with it. He'll play it over now to Moore. Moore fires a shot, and that one redirected in front as Kaczynski Halgeson got a piece of that, but just tipped it wide. Stevens behind the net, centers it now to Philippi. Philippi fanned on that shot, goes to the end wall. Played now to the right point. Gustafson once again. He'll get it over to Moore. Moore now plays it over to Stevens. Stevens waits, fires a shot high. Back over to Gustafson. Still on the power play here for another minute. Moore now waits, gets it over to Stevens. Stevens walks in, it's down low, and Swanson will hold on to it as Kaczynski Halgeson trying to push it in the net. But the officials said, nope, it's covered up. With 6:30, make that 6:22 to go here in overtime. Still 54 seconds on the Pizza Ranch power play for the Flyers.
And the Flyers will change their power play unit. No, they won't. It appeared they would. This power play unit will stay on. But they've got to start hitting the net.
Face-off going to try to be won here by Gunnar Gustis. He does win the draw. Gets it to Stevens. Now over to Moore. Moore with a blast! He clanked the crossbar! Stevens now, once again. Moore, another shot. Knocked down in front there. Puck is in the right circle now, and it'll be cleared to the line and out to center ice. And the Flyers have had 2 chances to go to state, and they've hit 2 pipes. Now down to the final 30 seconds here on the power play. 6 minutes to go here in overtime number 1. Stevens at center ice. Stevens comes across the line. Partain has it, and he'll clear it the length of the ice. 15 seconds left on the power play. Dane Kuchar plays it up on the dasher, moves it ahead. That gets through everyone. They'll say, no, it could have been played. One linesman just said no, and the other official blew the whistle dead. And now it'll have to come outside the zone, and the coaching staff for the Flyers not happy about this at all.
They're going to conduct the face-off at center
ice. Yeah, it will
ice.
be, because it was a missed call by the official blowing his whistle.
Donahue doesn't agree.
Well, I don't agree either.
They're going to conduct the face-off at center ice. It looks like a restart of overtime. The Flyers have a goalpost and a crossbar, but neither one of them will send you to St. Paul.
No, it won't. 3 seconds left on the power play. Hirsch comes across the line. Hirsch with a shot. Tried to go upper side.
Even strength.
And we're back to 5-on-5. Hirsch once again. Turnaround shot on net. Save is made by Swanson. His helmet comes off too. And Ben Swanson, the sophomore, is standing tall here as he faced a barrage of shots in that overtime, in that power play session, but none went in.
2 minutes and 40 seconds into the overtime. The Flyers have the shots on goal advantage at 7-0. Little Falls is now 0 for 3 on the power play as the Fergus Falls Otters survive a shorthanded situation.
5:20 to go here in overtime number 1.
Donahue in a spirited conversation with one of the referees. They weren't going to allow a late change.
They weren't going to let Partain come off the ice. So 5-on-5. Stevens trying to just push it towards the net. This will be Zierden. He'll play it out to center ice. And right at the Otter line, who's got the energy? Who's got, I guess, the will here in this first overtime? That's really what it's going to come down to right now. And both teams, if they don't score here, will get an opportunity to go into the locker room and at least take a breather. We'll get a new surface of ice too. Down to 4:50 to go here in overtime number 1. Played out to center ice, just out of the reach there of Stevens. It'll be dumped in there by Richards. Behind the net there, Kuchar leaves it off there for Colton Johnson to brother Hayden. Tried to get it back to Colton. Thacker going back to pick up the loose puck in the Otter zone. Thacker will send it right in front of the penalty box. Goes off there, there'll be no icing. Majorly goes back on his end wall, throws it around the boards. Was a touch there, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because he was on the wrong side of the red line, so it'll be icing here on the Flyers with 4:20 to go in the first overtime. We're tied at 1. Face-off will be down in the Flyers zone.
Well, the Flyers have had a power play. They came up empty. Matt Philippi hit the left goalpost. George Moore hit the crossbar. Now the Otters have an offensive zone face-off to the right of Kuchar.
Face-offs are key, and is clearly won there that time by Gunnar Gustafsson. Goes to the half wall, intercepted. A couple Flyers collide, shot on net, glove save made there by Kuchar, as that came off the stick there of Isaac Young.
Isaac Young had it at the left half wall, snapped a shot from there, and Kuchar made a confident glove save.
4:12 to go here in the first overtime. We're tied at 1. Flyers haven't scored since the first period. Otters scored early in the third period to tie it up. Here's a breakaway chance for Phil. This is Kaczynski Helgeson, and he couldn't get it to his forehand.
Good play by Richards defensively for Fergus Falls.
Richards just got back enough. Here's a shot from Inez, save made there by Swanson. He holds on, but once again, Kaczynski Helgeson had a breakaway opportunity and just, I think, kind of ran out of gas and couldn't. He was having trouble with it a little bit too, trying to get his forehand.
As they spring Robbie Kaczynski Helgeson through the neutral zone, but the senior defenseman for the Fergus Falls Otters, Ian Richards, cleanly took him off the play.
Stevens now puts it towards the netminder, Swanson. In the corner, this is Philippi with it. Back down to Majorly. Majorly waits. He'll play it, trying on the end wall. Gets past there, Stevens. Philippi now back on the right side to Cray. Cray takes a shot, knocked down though by Partain and played back out to center ice. It'll come to the side of the netminder, Kuchar. He thought about going out for it, but he's going to leave it there. Comes out in front, shot taken there. Save made by Kuchar. Puck is loose behind the net and picked up here by Philippi. Here's a 2-on-1 developing. Philippi with Stevens. Getting back in the right shot. Oh, another crossbar. It was underneath the third post of this overtime by the Flyers. And that'll be covered up by Swanson, and he'll hold up. Wow! The hockey gods don't want the Flyers to go to the X.
There was a huge scrum in front of the Little Falls Flyers net. It looked like the Otters were going to find a way to reel it in. Instead, the Flyers turn it back. Eventually, it's Philippi ripping a shot that hit the underside of the crossbar, and the Flyers deny it again.
He's hit the inside of the crossbar, or the inside of the post and the underside, and they still haven't gone in. His shot's been too hard. Moore trying to keep it in, played out to center ice by Young. 2:48 to go. 3 posts for the Flyers. Comes across the line now. This is Hirsch, had it taken away there. That's Richards. He'll play it now over to Tilke. To Tarzan, intercepted there by Moore, and actually it'll hit one of the players. That was Hirsch, and he was offside with 2:29 to go.
Of course, Noah Tarzan centering that line with Isaac Young and Carter Thilke as DeBrito was shaken up in the second period, unable to return, and I think Tarzan's done an admirable job filling in for the Otters' leading scorer, Michael DeBrito.
And Noah Tarzan actually does have a goal against the Flyers back a couple of years ago. 2:20 to go here in overtime. Trying to hold it in and unable to do so. There was Richards, is poked out to center by Stevens. Stevens trying to move it ahead. Richards bobbling the puck, nearly threw it right to Philippi. Instead it'll go into the Flyers zone. George Moore goes behind his net, gives it off to Hayden Johnson. Flipped up now to center ice, and falling down there was Philippi. Picked up by Moore. Moore moving in. He shoots backhand attempt. Save made there by Swanson. Good move there by Moore. Better move by the goaltender Swanson to still make this a 1-1 game. Flyers have had all sorts of chances in this period. Now picked up here by Inez. Minute 39 to go in overtime. Back the other way now. This is Johnson. He'll give it to Tilke. Tilke coming in right side, fires a shot, save made there by Kuchar, and it hit the ceiling. And the faceoff will stay inside the zone with 1:29 to go here in the first overtime. We're tied at 1. Just a reminder, you're watching on Flyer Media Productions, listening on Q92 WYRQ Little Falls, streaming online at fallsradio.com. Jamie Pettit, James Hershey. Jamie is all over the place up here. You're going to be okay, Jamie.
The game tied at 1. The shots are now even, 38-38 in overtime. 12 shots for Little Falls, 2 for Fergus Falls.
Falling down there was one of the Otter players, and moved ahead there by Kaczynski Helgeson. Behind the net, comes over to Hirsch now on the side of the net. Taken away there by Partain. Colton Partain gives it up. Now passed out in front there. That was Hershey. Tried to find Gustafson. Now it's Majorly. Behind the net. Touched there by Kaczynski Helgeson. Kaczynski Helgeson tries to play it out in front. Digging after it. It hasn't been covered yet. And finally, that puck is, I think, covered up here by Swanson as we're down to 56.2 seconds to go in the overtime. And I think right now, the Otters are just holding on just to try to get to...
Because we will resurface.
To the intermission to get a breather.
If no one scores in 56.2 seconds, we're going to resurface and go for 17 more.
Well, it's been done before between these two teams 4 years ago in that section quarterfinal game. Back to Moore. Shot on net. Save is made. George Moore has hit a crossbar. George Moore's had a breakaway and a nice save by Swanson. And there he takes a shot from the left point. And Swanson makes another save.
Swanson's 13 of 13 in the overtime.
And you know what? That's the first time the Flyers have led now on the on the shot column. 39-38. Flyers lead that now.
That doesn't include a goal post and 2 crossbars.
Exactly. A lot of metal hit here in this first 6+ minutes. Puck squirts out in the slot. Trying to slide it over there as Philippi couldn't get so. Back the other way now. This is Isaac Johnson. 30 seconds left to go. Johnson splits it, but a good job by the defense there, Majorly and Moore, to make sure that didn't happen. Now pass back here. That one just shot wide there by Niblock. Niblock plays it back now to Thacker. Thacker with a shot steered out of there by Kucher. 16 seconds left. Played out in front now to Niblock once again. Niblock has it the right circle. Plays it back to Thacker. Puck is off the pad there of Philippi. Picked up here by Gabe. Oh, that's Hayden Johnson. 3 seconds left. 2 seconds left. Maybe one last shot. 1 second left. Saved by Swanson at the horn. And we're going double overtime.
The Otters were getting ready to rip one from the blue line, and Matt Philippi, the sophomore, stepped right up and blocked the shot.
Free hockey is not enough. We're doing double free hockey.
Shots are even, 39-39. Little Falls scored in the first period from Matt Philippi. Fergus Falls scored early in the third period from Isaac Johnson. We have played 59 minutes. Nothing's been decided. Nothing's been decided. We're going to resurface and go for possibly another 17 minutes. What a night.
What a night it is tonight. Section 6A championship on the line, and the winner goes to state. Let's take a break. We'll take a timeout. We'll take a 2-minute break. We'll come back and we'll have the extra intermission coming up next. Our score once again, Little Falls 1, Fergus Falls 1. You're watching on Flyer Media Productions and listening on Q92 and fallsradio.com.
After an accident, it's nice to know where to go. Peterson Body Shop has loaner cars, a lifetime guarantee on workmanship and paint. They work with all insurance companies and repair all makes of vehicles. Remember, it's your insurance, your vehicle, so get the repairs done where you want. Peterson Body Shop is known for quality work in the Little Falls area since 1963. Give them a call at 632-6156. Peterson Body Shop, Highway 27 West, Little Falls. Your best decision after a collision. Just ask your neighbors.
And the Little Falls Flyer in his 28th season behind the Little Falls Flyers bench. He has indicated he's ready to retire once the season ends. His career as the coach of the Flyers will also come to an end. Mike Donahue's in his 17th season behind the Fergus Falls Otters bench. Donahue has never taken the Otters to the state tournament. Fergus Falls' last state tournament appearance was 2003. That was a run of 7 consecutive years that Fergus Falls went to the state tournament. Of course, Little Falls, they've been to the state tournament 6 times. Their last appearance was in 2012.
Well, let's get a look at the summary quickly here by Schlenner, Winter and Company. Not much to tell you about. There was a penalty and some shots, and here's Jamie with that.
Well, the first goal of the game was back in period 1 at 13:44. Matt Philippi's 19th of the season. We'll get a chance to look at it here on Flyer Media Productions. Nick Stevens, 2 AA, an overtime 4-3 over Minnetonka. It was St. Thomas Academy claiming the 3 AA championship with a 6-1 win over Rosemont. Hill Murray's back in the state tournament. They're the AA defending state champions. They shut out White Bear Lake 5-0. It was Wayzata 3, Benilde St. Margaret's 2 as Wayzata took the 6 AA championship. And Andover went up to Grand Rapids and beat the Halloween Machine from Grand Rapids 3-2. Andover went into the state tournament last year as the #1 seed. They were knocked out in the quarterfinals by St. Thomas Academy.
I did get a score final here from an old broadcast partner, Brian Treadle. He used to do the color commentator with me back when the Flyers had a chance to go to state and did go to state. He said that Hermantown defeated Duluth Denfeld by a score of 7-1. So Hermantown is now in the state tournament.
It's going to be interesting tomorrow when the seeding comes out for the state tournament. If Hermantown gets the #1 seed or if Gentry Academy gets the #1 seed. Of course, they were going to play a regular season game, and it didn't happen.
Do you want to tip your hand? I've already tipped my hand. I said Hermantown.
I agree.
Okay.
And we don't always agree.
No, we don't.
But I agree this time.
We're not.
Hermantown's only loss.
We're not a very agreeable partners all the time on this kind of stuff, you know.
We get along well, but we challenge each other.
Yeah, challenging's good. Speaking of challenge, right now the Flyers and the Otters are in a huge challenge. Somebody wants to go to state, And we have a 1-1 score. We know the score is going to be 2-1. Who is going to have the two hanging on their side of the scoreboard? As we put the full 17 minutes up, penalty boxes are empty. Both coaches still have their timeouts. And the shots are even 39-39. It's almost like we're starting a new game again.
And Dane Kucher's to our left here in overtime number 2. Ben Swanson to our right.
All right, buckle up, Central Minnesota. Buckle up, State of Hockey. The overtime number 2 is coming up now here on Flyer Media Productions, Q92, and FallsRadio.com.
The Otters will use the Johnson line. Cole Zierden on the left, Niblock on the right. And for the Little Falls Flyers, they'll counter with Stevens, Philippi, and Hayden Johnson.
Let's see who's got the energy right away to come out and try to end this game. Quick chance there by the Flyers and Hayden Johnson. Now it's Moore, flipped all the way down. This will be icing coming up here on the Otters. So we'll have a offensive faceoff for the Flyers just 16 seconds in to overtime number 2.
And just a reminder to our viewers at home, the Otters do have a number 33 tonight. It's Cole Zierden. So if you have your Otter program out at home, you normally would see Zierden with 19. Tonight he's wearing 33.
33 for the Flyers, wins the draw. That's Stevens. Here's Moore, who was behind the net. Moore now comes over to the right side, throws it into the corner. Lays it behind now. Stevens had it there. Stevens bottled up there by Thacker. Stevens lost the puck, comes back to the left point here by Johnson. Colton Johnson unable to keep it in the zone, and we'll have a face-off outside the Otter blue line with 16:26 to go here in the second overtime.
In the first overtime, Little Falls had 13 shots on goal. Fergus Falls with just 3.
Gunnar Gustafson, Noah Tarzan. Gustafson wins the draw again. Dumps it in deep. Karam's off the boards, comes in front of the netminder Swanson. Held in here at the right point by Moore. He'll go over to the left side, played off the glass. Bounces over the stick of Gunnar Gustafson. Hirsch was there, taken away, back the other way. Now comes Tilke. Tilke at center ice. Tilke comes across the line, dumps it off the end wall. Played there first by the Flyers and Colton Johnson. Taken away from Johnson there, however, by Young. Isaac Young plays it back to Partain now. Partain gets it back to Young, intercepted there by Oath. They'll say it's onside, but it'll be George Moore that picks it up. Tipped down in front there by Hirsch. He'll go after it. Gets around Partain. Hirsch goes in the corner first, avoids the check of Partain, gets it back to Stevens. One-time shot there. Comes off to the corner. Now back out to the right point. Inez plays it down low. This is Kaczynski-Helgeson with it. Plays it back to Marshall Inez. Inez with a shot in front. Tipped down there that time by Stevens. And picked up here by Partain. He'll throw it off the glass. Stick down there by Kaczynski-Helgeson. Played out to center ice now. Moved ahead here. This is Isaac Johnson. Good poke check there by Inez. Played back down into the Otter zone. And that'll be an icing call here on the Flyers with 15:16 to go. In the second overtime, we're tied at 1.
And for those of you just tuning in, Little Falls scored in the first period at 13:44, 19th goal of the season for Matt Philippi. Equalizer from Fergus Falls at 2:09 of the third period, 21st goal of the season from Isaac Johnson. And for Fergus Falls, their leading scorer, Michael DeBrito, was injured in period 2, did not return to this game tonight.
Played at center ice here by Hayden Johnson. He'll dump it in, no icing. Thacker plays it off the end wall over to his partner, that being Richards. Moved ahead now, Niblock, right side to Isaac Johnson. Nope, that's actually Zierden. And a save made there by the stick of Kucher. Comes out, juicy rebound though. Niblock will play it into the corner. Inez now plays it to his defensive partner, that being Majurli. Majurli will flip it out to center ice. Otters turn it back into the Flyer zone once again. Picked up here by Inez. Official almost got in the way of that one. Flyers get it out to center ice. Philippi moves it ahead, comes across the Otter line, lost the puck there though. And Tarzan will flip it back out to center ice. 14:25 to go here in the second overtime. Flyers are way offside, and it'll be an icing call instead here on Little Falls. We'll bring it back down in the Flyer zone. Shots 40-39 in favor of the Otters. They've got one shot so far here to start this second overtime.
We did have a penalty in the first overtime, 31 seconds into Ian Richards, and the Flyers unable to convert with that man advantage.
Otters have had 4 penalties tonight. Flyers have had 3 penalties. Check that. Otters had 4 power play opportunities tonight. They're 1 for 4. Flyers are 0 for 3 on the power play tonight. Is that correct?
Exactly right.
Yeah. I knew where I was going with that. Just had to get it out. Dumped in once again here by Moore. Big hit that time in the corner. And opportunity now here for the Flyers. Cray down low. As it's Kaczynski Helgeson racing after the puck, and it'll be poked out to center ice there. And it was poked out by Tilke all the way down to the Flyer zone. Played around the board. Zierden able to keep it at the left point. Zierden fires a shot towards it. Puck is this. Oh, great job there by Kucher to go from post to post and knock down that opportunity down low that time by, I believe that was maybe Young. 13:30 to go here in the second overtime. Flyers played to the line, not out. Niblock with a shot. Knocked down in front. Niblock gets it back. Fires a shot. Save made there by Dane, and Dane holds on. And a faceoff comes down in the Flyers zone, and so far the Otters have had all the shots here in the second overtime, as that was shots number 2 and 3, and that second shot nearly got in, but a good job by Dane Kucher.
Kucher, just like a good old reliable vacuum cleaner, able to bring that puck in to make the save.
There's now an opportunity for Niblock again, but it's played to the side of that. This goes off the low ceiling here at the Exchange Arena by Hayden Johnson, and we'll keep it inside the zone of the Flyers.
Shots in the second overtime, 3 for Fergus Falls. Little Falls has yet to record a shot on sophomore Ben Swanson in the Otter net. Another offensive zone faceoff for Fergus Falls to the right of Kucher.
You got to wonder the fatigue factor, one thing, and then also they had the semifinal game 2 days ago. So, you know, both teams had difficult semifinal games, physical games, and here you've had a physical up and down, back and forth game too.
Coach Kucher talked about it in his pregame comments. Would love to have seen this championship game on Friday night instead of a Thursday night.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they exactly did that, but
the high school league said they wanted all championship games complete by Thursday.
Okay, there's your answer, right?
Because we're seeding tomorrow, and one of these 2 teams will get seeded at the state tournament, yet to be determined.
Played out at center ice now. Going after Isaac Young. It's really going to be who's got the stronger stick, who's got the stronger endurance, who's going to make that play. Doesn't have to be the perfect play, but who's going to make that play to send you to state. Kaczynski Helgeson, backhand attempt there by Moore, and Swanson has his first save in the overtime frame, the second overtime frame, and are still tied at 1 with 12:25 to go here.
George Moore, the junior defenseman, jumping up into the offensive rush, and eventually it's Swanson making the save for the Fergus Falls Otters. Now an offensive zone faceoff for Little Falls. Gustafson opposed by Johnson.
Isaac Johnson wins that draw from Gunnar Gustafson. Niblock has it. Rink-wide pass goes off the back of the skate of Zierden. Niblock going to help out. Intercepted here by Gunnar Gustafson. Gustafson with a shot. Locker pad save there by Swanson. Played that one into the corner. Val Partain now centered it out. Got it on the tape there of Zierden. Bounces in front there of the netminder Swanson, but the Otters play it out. Here's Isaac Johnson, left wing side. Johnson out a tough angle. Good save there by Kucher. Puts the rebound into the corner. Isaac Johnson coming out of there again. Isaac Johnson had it taken away. Zierden now on the side of the net. And then it'll be played off the glass and out to center. And I think this is going to be an icing here on the Flyers. And it will be with 11:38 to go here in overtime number 2, still tied at 1.
Isaac Johnson's dangerous. He has the only goal for the Fergus Falls Otters tonight. At 2:09 in the third period on the power play. Dane Kucher wanted to cover that puck. He wanted to freeze it. It kind of got away from him. Eventually, the Flyers sent it down the length of the ice.
Stevens wins the draw from Tarzan. Glove down here by Richards at the left point. In the left circle coming in, taken away there by Philippi. Philippi now will start the skate the other way at center ice. Philippi taken out of the play, but at least gets it down to the Otter zone. Stevens helps out behind the goal. Taken there by Tarzan. Plays it over now to Richards. And Richards, rink-wide pass. Tried to catch there by Tilke, unable to do so. Cray will dump it across the Otter line. Well, that puck's still onside, falling down there, and then out to center ice it comes. Stevens picks it back up. 1-on-3 is Stevens. Stevens still with it, left circle. Stevens goes behind the net. Wraparound attempt there. There was a chance there, but he just wrapped it around a little bit short. If his stick was a little bit longer, he might have put that in. Back the other way now. Right wing side. Here's Tilke with a shot. Save made there by Kucher. Tilke now tied up along the wall there with one of the Flyer players, that being Cray. Now a backhand attempt trying to come in there is Johnson, but never got the shot off. Chance now behind the net here this time for the Otters. It comes in at a tough angle there. Easy save by Kucher. That shot was taken there by Young. Back to the point now to Partain. Partain with a shot. Fired that one wide. And Thacker can't keep it in at the left point as it comes back out to center. The Otters have to touch up. They do. Kucher's able to slow it down. Puck is rolling around, and Kucher poke checks it away at the last second there from Isaac Young. Or make that Isaac Johnson. Puck squirts out now behind the netminder, Kucher. Played here by George Moore. 10 minutes to go here in the second overtime. Right wing side, Moore now coming in. Marcus sends a pass across there. He was looking maybe to see if he could get somebody streaking through. That was Kaczynski-Helgeson. Kaczynski-Helgeson tries to get it back now to Hirsch. And it goes all the way down the ice, and this should be icing coming up here on the Otters with 9:40 to go here in overtime number 2, tied at 1.
Flyers had a huge shots on goal advantage in the first overtime, 13-3. Little Falls hit a goal post and 2 crossbars in the first 8 minutes of overtime. Here in the second overtime, 6 shots on goal for Fergus Falls, 3 for the Little Falls Flyers in the game. 45-42 Otters, shots on goal advantage.
Face off in the left circle to the right of the sophomore netminder, Ben Swanson. Draw cleanly won. Colton Johnson waits. He'll play it into the corner. Philippi now in the right corner. Tried to play it back to Moore. Intercepted there by Niblock. Out at neutral. Colton Johnson plays it back in. Thacker tried to clear it out of the zone. Otters do clear it out of the zone. Niblock racing after it. Going back is Philippi. Philippi tied up there. Philippi can't get it out of the zone. Intercepted, however, there that time by Tilke. Tilke with a shot sticked out of there by Kucher. Back to the point it comes. Richards sends it towards the net. Bouncing puck goes into the corner. First to get there is Thacker as he came in from the right point. Good check there by Moore. Played out to center ice, and that just out of the reach of Philippi, or it could have been possibly in all alone, and now they'll say icing here. As Matt Philippi just couldn't catch up to that. That was just about a half a stride away, Jamie, from being a breakaway.
It would have been a breakaway. Instead, it's an icing call against the Little Falls Flyers. We have played 8 minutes and 4 seconds in this second overtime. Face-off to the right of Kucher.
Back now to the draw. Shot taken there by Johnson. Save made by Dane Kucher. No rebound whatsoever by the senior netminder with 8:52 to go here in the second overtime.
And the Otters are going to change. They're going to come with the lines centered by Tarzan. Boy, the Johnson's unit's surprised that they're going to make the change.
So Tarzan.
They're going to keep Young. Yep, Young's out there with Thilke and Tarzan.
Tarzan wins the draw. Tried to get it back to Johnson. Johnson now, and then tipped that one just wide and wide into the corner. Back to the right point. Partain shot on net. Save is made. Comes to the stick here of Marshall Inez. Played out to center. It was played by a high stick by the Otters. In the offensive zone, that should come all the way down into the Otter zone, and it will.
I don't believe I've seen either team's third line in overtime. I think in this second overtime, it's been both teams playing their top 2 lines.
Well, that'd be Andrews, Stenstrom, and Shaky for the Otters, and of course, big Tchaikovsky, Olthout, and Morrison. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe Olthout gets put out there at some point. He could have been a second line center too. He was for a short time. As we're down to 8:24 to go here in the second overtime, tied at 1. Shot at net, save is made, rebound is loose, and covered up by Swanson. It was underneath his pad, as trying to maybe see if he could knock that one in as Philippi after the shot was taken from the corner. That one had some eyes on it, didn't it, Mr. Pettit?
It sure did. Underneath the pad of Swanson.
It's almost going to be not a pretty goal that wins this one. It's just going to be one of those goals that you're going to remember forever. Niblock shot, knocked down in front. Back the other way comes Stevens. Stevens avoids a check there, but lost the puck in the process. He's out at center ice. The other 33 and Zierden fired in deep. Under 8 minutes to go here in the second overtime. Shots, once again, 47 for the Otters, 43 for the Flyers. Jurley backhands it in. Going back to pick up the puck will be Richards. Richards plays it now out to center ice, and it was tipped at least there by Niblock. Picked up here by George Moore. Moore at his own blue line. Moore across the center line. Moore on the left wing side. Moore still with it. Moore goes behind the net. Moore tries to pass it back off there. There's Othout. He's out there now. Othout in the corner. Some fresh legs out there. Othout gets it back there from Hershey, and the save made by Swanson. Of course, Othout had the game winner against Fergus Falls a couple weeks ago. 7:10 to go. Back over to Cray, and a shot flutters in on the netminder Swanson. He makes the save and holds on with 7:05 to go here in the second overtime.
Good call on your part, mentioning that the Flyers might spot in Othout, as Othout's taking a shift with Robbie Kaczynski-Helgeson and Gabe Hirsch.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anybody on that third line for the Otters come out at all, so you're right. You'll have 6 basically forwards. The Flyers are using 7 forwards. So somebody gets a little breather out there for the Flyers every once in a while. And this one goes off the net and held there by the netminder Swanson, as the shot taken there by Kaczynski-Helgeson.
Of course, the first meeting between the two teams, Little Falls beat Fergus Falls 4-3 way back on March 8th, and Carter Othout scored the game-winning goal. Now it's going to be an offensive zone face-off for Little Falls. Here comes the top line of Johnson, Stevens, and Philippi. Hayden Johnson, Colton Johnson also out there. Colton is Hayden's younger brother.
And back to Colton Johnson it comes. Spends one over the cage. Picked up here by Zierden. Flipped up to center. Niblock had it for a short time. Hayden Johnson tries to move it ahead. At the Flyer line, Stevens trying to avoid a check. Fired in here by Partain. Slowed down by Dane Kuchar. 6:30 to go here in the second overtime. Shot by Andrew Johnson. That one wide. Partain now shot from the side. Save made there by Kuchar. And the fans screaming for a penalty here for the Otters, but I think it's going to have to be a blatant call now in a situation like this with 6:21 to go here in the second overtime.
Imagine if we could have more than 250 people in the building, what the atmosphere would be like.
Wow.
We're capped at 250.
Well, I think we have 8 times as many people watching that we then have in the building here, at least on Flyer Media Productions. So we could just say we have like 2,300 people watching this game right now. Just 250 in person. You and I are part of that. 6:05 to go here in the second overtime.
Proud to be here.
Absolutely. Regardless of the outcome, great hockey game tonight here at the Exchange Arena as these two teams are battling for a trip to the state tournament. 6 tickets have been punched in Class A. Warroad and East Grand Forks are also in double overtime right now as they're battling up in Warroad. And this shot comes in on Swanson. He'll make the save and no rebound whatsoever. And it's just a final now. East Grand Forks in double overtime knocks off Warroad. So the Green Wave heading back to the state tournament. And now there's only 1 ticket to punch.
There's 1 spot remaining at the XL Energy Center in the Class A state tournament. It's going to belong to the Fergus Falls Otters or the Little Falls Flyers.
Did we finally get the final game of the night in the state of Minnesota? The final playoff hockey game in the state of Minnesota is on right now in Little Falls between Little Falls and Fergus Falls. Who's going to be that final team? 15 teams have punched their ticket. Turnaround shot, Zierden. Save made there by Kuchar. Played out at center ice. Partain dumps it back in. Inez picks up the loose puck, and that'll be icing coming up here on the Flyers with 5:06 to go here in the second overtime. Just a reminder, if we end in a tie after 2 periods, they'll take a short break. And then we'll have an 8-minute sudden death.
It's fun to watch Isaac Johnson. He just forced his way, muscled his way into the zone. Eventually the puck came over to Zierden. Point blank chance. Another save by Kucher. 47 of 48 is Kucher in the Flyer net. Swanson's 46 of 47 in the Otter net.
Who's going to dig deep enough to find that goal? Here's Moore. Wrist shot. That one tipped just wide there by Philippi. Flip back out to center ice. Knocked down. Here's a potential breakaway for Tilke. Tilke comes in, and he can't get his shot off. He deked the goaltender Kucher, but he couldn't get his shot off. Back the other way now comes Stevens. Stevens, right wing side, goes behind the net. Stevens still with it. Stevens being tied up there that time by Richards. Stevens still with it. Now Richards finally flips it out to center ice, and Cray goes back to it. I remember back in those days when practice started, Jamie, when you had to do the killers up and down the ice all the time, and you're going, why do I have to do this, coach? Why do I have to do this? This is the reason why you did it, because somebody is going to win a hockey game because they have more energy than the other team.
And both teams have really shortened the benches here in this overtime session. Fergus has used, I believe, 6 forwards, Little Falls, 7 forwards on their side.
It's almost like a boxing match now. A couple of heavyweights and a penalty coming up here, and shaken up is Kaczynski Helgeson. And a penalty here in the second overtime, a kneeing call coming up here against the Otters. And it looks like going to the box is going to be Ian Richards.
Richards took a penalty in the first overtime for tripping. Little Falls didn't score on the power play. Now it's Richards again at 12:54 of the second overtime. A 2-minute minor for kneeing. Tony Kucher's in his 28th season as the head coach of the Little Falls Flyers, and he's elected to exercise his 1-minute timeout to get it set up for the Flyers with this man advantage.
Well, do remember this, the Otters do have 4 shorthanded goals. 2 of them, however, are from Michael DeBrito, who left this game early in the second period. Cole Zierden and Isaac Young have the other shorthanded goals. For the Flyers, 0 for 3 on the power play tonight. It's a Pizza Ranch power play, so if the Flyers score on the power play, not only are we going to give some pizza, but the Flyers are going to go to the state tournament too.
And all are welcome to call in.
Absolutely. By all means, 632-2306 is the number to call for that.
They might be calling all night.
Wow. So 4:06 to go here in the double overtime.
Little Falls scored back in period 1, 13:44, 19th goal of the season for Matt Philippi. Fergus Falls tied it, 2:09 of the third period on the power play. 21st goal of the season for Isaac Johnson. We've been scoreless since. Little Falls had a power play in the first overtime, unsuccessful. Little Falls gets a power play now here in the second overtime, as Swanson comes from the Otters bench. He's been brilliant tonight. 46 of 47. Kucher on the other end, he's been brilliant tonight. 47 of 48. But one of these 2 goaltenders will eventually surrender one.
Here's George Moore back at the point after the draw won by Gustafson. Gustafson now back to Moore. Moore still with it, waiting, fires a shot! He scores! Jamie Pettit, load up the bus, head to the Dairy Queen. We're going back to St. Paul for the 7th time in Flyer history.
Just the second goal of the season for George Moore as the Flyers scored 10 seconds into the power play in overtime number 2. A 2-1 win for the Little Falls Flyers. They're on to the state tournament. Tony Kucher's 28th season. He'll take a team to the state tournament, the XL Energy Center, for the 7th time. An epic battle tonight, just a classic. But it's Little Falls advancing. Shot from Moore just inside the line, eludes Swanson. It was the 48th shot of the night for the Little Falls Flyers. And it proves to be the shot that sends them to St. Paul.
Number 22, George Moore with an assist to number 15, Gunnar Gustafson. That's Moore from Gustafson on a power play goal.
Well, Jamie, George Moore said, well, I might have one of the hardest shots. I said, maybe we should have a contest. Well, his shot just sent the Flyers back to the state tournament for the 7th time in school history. And what a hard-fought game. What a hard-fought game for the Fergus Falls Otters. They gave it everything they had tonight, Jamie, and unfortunately just came up a little bit short.
Like I said earlier, an epic battle, just a classic. And there's two old friends, Kuchar and Donahue. They're going to Mike Donahue's going to congratulate Coach Kuchar right now. Wesley Wojtaszek, assistant coach for the Little Falls Flyers. Bob Stark, also an assistant coach for the Little Falls Flyers, is there. Donahue's in his 17th season. Fergus Falls, they hadn't been to the state tournament since 2003. They were close tonight, but it was Little Falls getting the game winner. 13:05 of the second overtime.
All right, everybody, if you're watching, we have post-game coverage coming up here yet. We're going to be down on the ice, and we'll have the Flyers and head coach Tony Kuchar and some of the players. We'll get an opportunity to talk to them, as we're going to keep, Kuchar will probably be down here, though, but once again, the 2-1 overtime, double overtime win for the Flyers. And they have finally punched their ticket. They are the 16th team to head down to the XL Energy Center in Little Falls. And joining me now down below is Wesley Wojtaszek. Wesley, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, how you doing?
Wonderful.
Hey, let's talk about this one. Double overtime. It doesn't get any better than this, does it?
Oh, definitely not. Our boys worked their bag off today, and it's showing right now, right? We get to celebrate.
You know, you've been to some state tournaments before. You know what it's like, and you know it's going to be a lot of fun for these guys, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for these kids, and it's something that they're going to cherish, right? I got the opportunity to play in a couple of them, but I think this one means a little bit more for me as a coach. You know, a group of kids battling back. You know, having a good group like this, they earned it, definitely.
That they did indeed, and I tell you what, it was a phenomenal opportunity for both teams, battling back and forth the entire game. You hit 3 posts, 3 clanked iron in that first overtime. What were you guys thinking after that?
You know, sometimes that puck luck doesn't happen, and we just told the boys after that intermission, like, hey, we're going to get one. We're okay. And they battled back and did what they needed to do.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much for joining me. Make sure you grab head coach Tony Kuchar.
I'll grab Tony right now.
And then you can get as many players as you want. We'll chat with them for a while, okay?
Sounds good.
Congratulations. Once again, that's assistant coach Wesley Wojtaszek. They're going over right now to get a picture. And we're going to keep it right here, as we'll have more interviews coming up here in just a moment. But the Little Falls Flyers advancing on to the state tournament for the 7th time in school history. It started back in 2005 as they finished 6th place. In 2006, they were in 4th place. In 2007, they were just a participant. 2008, the consolation champs. 2009, that run where they were 30-0 before they finally lost to Breck and then eventually won against St. Cloud Cathedral.
They're going to shake hands after this one.
And I think that's the right thing to do. Absolutely. And once again, in 2009, that 3rd place finish. And of course, in 2012, they got back there and had a consolation championship too. So once again, congratulations to the Little Falls Flyers, your section champs for 2021.
Well, in the first overtime, Little Falls hit a goal post and 2 crossbars. One of those crossbars was hit by George Moore, but it's Moore getting the game-winning goal, his 2nd goal of the season, 13:05 of the 2nd overtime. And these two teams have battled for years. This is the 6th time they played in a section championship game. Little Falls has now won 3 section championships against the Fergus Falls Otters. Fergus Falls has won 3 section championship games against the Little Falls Flyers. And there's Michael DeBrito, the leading scorer for the Fergus Falls Otters. Obviously very emotional, was injured in the second period, unable to play the rest of the game. Noah Tarzan filled in admirably on that line for the Fergus Falls Otters, but both teams had good chances to win this game tonight. And the Flyers got a power play in the second overtime, and just 10 seconds into that power play, Moore nets the game winner.
That he does, and it propels the Flyers onto the state tournament. We're going to get a chance to talk with head coach Tony Kuchar in a little bit, and also some of the players too for the Flyers, as they are down on ice level here. We're up in the booth, and we have a headset down there, so we'll make sure somebody comes over. Bob Stark slowly walking this way. If Bob looks up this way, we can maybe try to get him. As we're waiting here, and head coach Tony Kuchar now. Oh, I think he's now going to come over and grab the headset here.
Bob's got a couple game pucks in his hand. Coach Kuchar's ready for us.
Yep. Head coach Tony Kuchar is going to put on the headset. He's going to get to do it down on ice level. Tony, you can hear us okay?
I can.
And we can see Coach Kuchar on our monitor here in the press box.
Absolutely. Okay. Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. What's it feel like?
It's bittersweet. You know, I'm career done last game at the Exchange Arena, and feels pretty good.
What a hockey game it was, and Coach Mike Donahue is coming up here too. We just want to wish him congratulations. Class act guy that he is, but I tell you what, Tony, your team fought tonight. You fought some adversity. You had some pipes in the overtime, and you finally found a way to put it in here on the power play.
It was, and you know, it hasn't been pretty. You know, I thought the Otters played extremely well tonight, and they took it to us several times, and our kids were gassed. Their kids were gassed, and you know, unfortunate penalty. You know, wins the game, but I guess sooner or later somebody had to win. But I thought their goaltending was excellent. I thought the things that they were doing to keep us off our game, it was good. Mike Donahue does a nice job with the Otters. It's been a long time coming for maybe the Otters, but we stole one from them tonight.
Tony, you have to be proud. Your son was 47 of 48 in goal, probably the best high school game that he's ever played.
I probably have to agree with you. It was a good, there was many scrambles. I thought both goalies were incredibly good tonight, and I was very proud of Dane, and he hung in there and played extremely well. We had pipes, 6-7 pipes, and a couple breakaways by each team, and it was a fantastic high school hockey game.
Were you nervous going into the intermission between the first and second overtime, thinking we hit a goal post, we hit 2 crossbars? Is it going to get away from us?
You know, usually that's the way it happens. You hit a post, and then they come back with something, and they poke one in. It was just like their goal. I mean, number 3, I don't know his last name, but he did a great job. He wheeled around 4 of our guys and tucked it, I think, 5-hole on Dane. So it was a fantastic goal on their part. And then you know, they've had, you know, we coughed the puck up and gave them chances, and Dane came through, and then they gave us chances, and Swanson came through. It was quite an unbelievable game. One that I'll always remember.
Absolutely, Coach. And you jumped out to an early 1-0 lead with that Philippi goal, and it's kind of like you guys did against the Otters. You were trailing 1-0, but you were able to tie it up, and here you jumped out to that 1-0 lead. How important was it to have that first goal tonight?
Well, I think it was very important. I think just to get on the board, and our kids usually get excited when we score, and we've been working on those plays. That's the kind of the play that we've been working on in practice. Coming from behind the net, hitting the high slot guy. If he doesn't score, crashing the net for rebounds, and again, they did well, and I guess it's kind of fitting for George Moore too, also to score. He's got 1 goal all year, and a tremendous player, and just didn't get it to the net. He had a breakaway, and yeah, so it was interesting. So, but what a fantastic crowd tonight also to root us. The Otters were in full force too. I heard that "We Want the Otters" ringing through my head a lot. So,
Yeah.
and that was very painful because it usually it reminds me of back in the 90s when they stole the show several thousand times against us.
Tony, the Exchange Arena has been your home for 28 seasons as the head coach of the Little Falls Flyers. Regardless of the outcome tonight, we knew this would be the last time you'd pace back and forth behind the Flyer bench. Obviously, you'll never forget it, but talk about what this rink has meant to you.
Well, a lot. I spend a lot of time here, so I don't know. It's very emotional right now, but I don't know. It's just it was great to win, and I've spent many nights here and many days here just doing things. Very proud of the Flyers and what we accomplished this year, and in the 28 years that I've been the head coach.
Tony, I can attest to the fact that you do so much behind the scenes and you love to spend time at the rink. We were visiting after the game on Tuesday night when you beat Sartell 3-1, and you were telling us how on Sunday night you come up to watch your daughter figure skate, Leah, but you also take the time to clean the Flyers locker room.
We do. It's like clockwork. She goes out, I watch her for a little time, and then we go. I go and clean both locker rooms and give it COVID ready. So, but yeah, it's a lot of good memories here, and you forget a lot of the memories back in the early '90s, the morning practices and the calling. Back then we didn't have cell phones, so I was calling for curfew, and just a lot of the memories and a lot of the kids that come out and support us, old players and things like that. So, and I'm proud of Starkey and our coaching staff, Wes, and they've done a great job.
I see Wes has got his newborn there right next to you, getting a picture too.
Right, absolutely.
Who wouldn't want a commemorative photo with Coach Kuchar?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Coach, I know there's a lot going through your mind right now, and we'll get a chance to talk here later on too, but why don't you pass the headset on to some of your players and maybe your son right next to him. Yeah, that'd be great.
Here he is.
Congrats once again, Coach.
Thank you.
Once again, that's the head hockey coach of the Little Falls Flyers, that being Tony Kuchar, and from number 35, the old 35 to the new 35, that being Dane Kuchar. Dane, how you doing?
Doing great. That was just surreal right there. It was the dream come true.
Let's talk about this one tonight. You saw a lot of pucks your way, 48 of them to be exact, 47 saves. Do you feel like this might have been one of your best games ever?
Yeah, for sure. It was lose or go home, so I just put all my all into it, and I just wanted to get to the state tournament.
Dane, I was reminiscing before I introduced you as the starting goaltender for the Little Falls Flyers tonight. About 14 years ago, I can remember outside the old Flyer locker room underneath the bleachers, was talking to your dad, and there was this young, enthusiastic kid running back and forth. And I asked that young kid, I said, "Do you play hockey?" "Yep. I want to be a goaltender, I want to play for the Flyers, and I want to wear number 35 like my dad." And Dane, you did very proud. You're proud of what you accomplished tonight for your dad and your family, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's amazing. Always going to the state tournament with my dad and experiencing it, not as a player, but as a little kid, and going there every year with you, especially Jamie, and it's been a great deal. And now I'm excited not to watch this year and play.
I don't want to bring up anything negative here, but I want to talk about that goal that was scored by Isaac Johnson, a phenomenal goal. Did he actually put that between his legs?
Well, he kind of spun around, I think, and it either I just missed it, or it hit one of our defensemen and kind of slid under my pads. I kind of got hung up on the post.
What was, after that goal went in, what was your reaction, I guess, and what were you feeling after that?
You know what, I just turned the page, and I knew I wasn't going to lose this one. Put too much work in these last 3 years and my entire life here watching Little Falls play, and I just wanted to be just like everybody else that I grew up watching, and you know, it's been a dream come true, and I have a picture hanging downstairs with, I think it was one of the years that said, good luck, Dane, make it to the tourney, and you know what, that I was going to bring it today, but I left her at home and figured, you know what, I'll come back to it and look at it.
All right, you're being summoned over for a picture over there because there's a whole crowd of people that want to take a team picture. So I'm going to have you go over there, do that, and then when you're done, you're going to grab one of your teammates and have them come over and talk to us, okay?
Who are you looking for?
Whoever you want.
Whoever I want.
Whoever you want.
Yep.
Okay.
Your choice,
You can
Dan.
go captains, you can go whatever.
Okay, sounds good.
Congratulations, Dane.
Thank you.
Once again, that's the senior netminder in the nets, number 35, Dane Kuchar. And Dane, of course, is one of the reasons why this team is heading to the XL Energy Center on Tuesday.
He's a student of the game. He studies all goaltenders. He can tell you what pads these goaltenders wear, what kind of a stick, who's their equipment manufacturer. He wanted to be a goaltender from the time that he knew that his dad was a goaltender at the University of North Dakota. And what a special way for father and son to celebrate tonight. Of course, we had last year the night when Tony Kuchar won his 400th game against St. Paul Johnson, and Dane got a shutout.
All right, and of course, Dane is the leader, so he'll tell somebody, all right, you got to come over now and do an interview, so we're going to find out who that's going to be here in just a moment.
Dane, one of the 3 captains for the Flyers this season. Also, Joe Majurley and Gabe Hirsch.
Absolutely, as the players taking, actually going to have their usual prayer at center ice here for a moment. But once again, final score in this one, it was 2-1, Little Falls defeating Fergus Falls. Joining us now and getting the headset on there is Bob Stark. Bob, don't be afraid to go out a little bit farther on the ice so you can even see us here. We can see you just fine. How you doing?
Good. Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine. You can hear me?
I can.
Absolutely. Hey, Bob, congratulations. You've been up behind the bench for 24 years. All of those, obviously, the head coach, Tony Kuchar. What does this win tonight mean for you and this team?
Well, I just, you know, there's some of these kids have just been, you know, watched them grow up, and they've, you know, as Bantams, they went to the state tournament, and they're all just, you know, great kids, and I just love to see that their hard work was finally came out in a successful win tonight. So that was awesome.
What's it been like behind the bench with Tony for the last 24 years?
Well, it's been pretty awesome. You know, he's. I remember years ago when I first started, and I said, "Geez, Tony, you're doing everything. You should delegate a little bit." And you know, he started doing a little bit of that and letting other people help him with a few things. But then he just picked up more things to do. So he's a glutton for punishment, but he works very, very, very hard. And you know, his efforts, you can see it right here with the boys.
It's amazing what Tony does even before the pregame, the game starts. He even makes a pizza for the officials every game.
Bob, I'm curious, have you ever went grocery shopping with Coach Kuchar? That's got to be an experience in itself.
I've never went with him, but I've gone for him.
Did he have his list organized for you?
Yeah, usually he has a couple of things he needs me to get that he might have forgot, or that, you know.
You've been a part of the 6 other section championship teams. Every one of them is going to have a special meaning in your heart, obviously, and every player that's been on those teams. But here we've had a 9-year break. Here it's the last time that head coach Tony Kuchar is ever going to be behind the bench here at the Exchange Arena. This is a pretty meaningful night, isn't it?
It absolutely is. You know, the kids knew that this was going to be it, and you know, it was their opportunity to make it happen, and it's just a fantastic experience for everybody here.
Bob, tell the viewers, what do you do on the Little Falls Flyer bench? What's your roles and responsibilities?
My role is to watch what the defense are doing and make sure I try to have the right guys out there against other teams' lines.
Well, Bob, we're going to get a chance to load up the bus once again and head down to the state tournament, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Should be fun. Thanks so much for joining us. Now your job is to find another player for us. Maybe grab Gabe Hirsch over there.
I will.
Bob, congratulations.
Okay.
So once again, head coach Tony Kuchar joined us. Wesley Latashik joined us. We've had Dane Kuchar joining us. We've also had Bob Stark joining us. And now we have one of the senior captains, the guy that wears number 9. He spent 4 years on this hockey team. And finally, you get to do the same thing that your older brother did in Riley. You get to go to the state tournament. How do you feel?
Oh, it's the greatest thing in the world right now. Watching my brother and his friends make it to state, and I get to do it with my brothers now. It's just great.
Let's talk about this game tonight, a hard-fought game. And I got to ask you guys, did you have any energy left out there tonight playing double overtime?
Well, I'll be honest, I was sucking wind at the end, but we pulled through on that power play. We really needed that goal because we still have 3 minutes left, 4 minutes left, and feels great to get that goal.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, that goal by George Moore, the biggest goal that you've ever been a part of, isn't it?
Oh, for sure, not even a question right now.
Hey, let's talk about going on to the state tournament. You guys are going to obviously enjoy this, but you're one of the captains, so you got to get the guys ready now here. What's, I guess, now going through your mind what the next step is going to be here?
Well, I got to take it one game at a time. We all know that. You just got to play smart. We know we're a good team, and we'll hopefully have a good run.
Hey, Gabe, Jamie Pettit, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm sure your mom's excited.
Oh, I think she's more excited than I am right now.
Is she running around out here unattended?
Yep, she's probably taking on her 3rd lap right now.
I think she needs a chaperone.
Yep,
but,
she needs someone following her.
Talk about your line mates, Gunnar Gustafson and Robbie Kaczynski-Helgeson.
Oh, well, they worked their butts off tonight, and, you know, it's fun. We don't get all the goals, but I mean, we don't get scored on either, and we work hard. We go to hard net, and then good things happen to us.
That is awesome. Hey, congratulations on getting to the state tournament. Now at least you can tell your brother, I've got there too, right?
Of course.
All right, now it's your job to go find another one of your teammates, and we're going to have them come over too. Thanks a lot.
All right, yep, thank you.
Once again, that is Gabe Hirsch. And of course, Gabe, 91 points in his career, and he'll get a chance to go down to the state tournament, something his brother Riley was able to do for 3 years.
Gabe has great hands, great distributor of the puck. That line has worked well together this season. Gunnar Gustafson centering Gabe on the left and Robbie Kaczynski-Helgeson on the right. A hard-working line, and they make their opponents earn everything they get.
Looks like we're going to get Joe Majurley. He's coming into the picture next. Yep, just put the headset right on. All good. You can hear us just fine, right? Isn't that nice? Yeah, we're up here, you're down there. It works out well, right?
We got you on camera too, Joe. Don't worry.
Yeah, we're social distancing here, so we're all good.
All good.
Hey, congratulations on the win. I got to ask, what does it feel like? It's been about 20 minutes ago. You guys became the section champs and are heading to state.
Oh, it's surreal. I mean, looking forward to this opportunity for about 10 years, and seeing Ben Hanowski and Luke, my brother, getting to go. And then finally I get the opportunity, and after 2 overtimes, George comes through. Love the guy, love the team. I can't believe it. It was a good fight from Fergus Falls. I'll give them that. It was unbelievable effort from both sides.
Yeah, they gave a lot, didn't they? And you should mention your brothers. One of your brothers got to go. Another brother, unfortunately, didn't get to go. But here you are. You're getting to go to the state tournament. So the brotherly love will be there tonight, won't it? There won't be no competition tonight, right, in the Majurley house?
I'll give it a day before I start giving Ben some crap.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, talk about this fight tonight between these two teams. And, I mean, it seems like game in and game out, you guys probably bank back in Pee-wees, Bantams, now to the high school level. You've always had good games with the Otters.
Yeah, it's always nice to play the same people. You start to get to know them on some kind of hockey level. And it's always great to battle them because you know it's going to be a good fight. Who doesn't love a good hockey game? But yeah, it was a fun battle.
Joe, you spend a lot of time on the ice. The Flyers primarily play 5 defensemen. Were you tired in the second overtime, or didn't that kick in?
Oh, I was absolutely tired. I gotta shout out George for stepping up when I was tired. He took a couple extra minutes off my shifts and came through in the end. So That's all that matters. I love the kid right now.
Well, I tell you what, congratulations. You're heading to the state tournament. You get to go play at the XL Energy Center on Tuesday. We'll find out who you get to play against tomorrow, but right now it's just fun and celebrate, okay?
Absolutely.
Hey, why don't you grab Nick Stevens after he takes his beautiful picture there and let the Eagle have the headset. Sound good?
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Once again,
Thanks, Joe. Congratulations.
Absolutely. That is that is Joey Majurley. And he obviously another one of the captains here for the Flyers. Waiting for the picture here between Nick Stevens and the goal scorer in George Moore. We'll talk to him in just a minute. But Nick Stevens, of course, he's been a huge part of the Flyers for the past 3 years. And the Eagle has landed Central Minnesota. How are we doing down there?
Oh, it's crazy down here. Best feeling in the world, I'll tell you that.
I think you should have a job as the on-ice reporter and just go around and talk to everybody. I think you'd have fun with that, wouldn't you?
Oh, I'd love it.
I know you would.
Best feeling.
Hey, let's talk about this win tonight for you guys. A tough game tonight, but you guys were able to pull through. Your comments about the win tonight against the Otters.
The Otters put up a huge fight against us. They played real well. Hats off to them and their incredible season. School record broke, and sophomore goalie played out of his mind, but we got the job done, and now we're going to the X, and hopefully we can get a win there and keep going.
Every kid dreams to go to the X, and your dream finally came true. How does it feel?
From coming St. Cloud and moving to Little Falls, best decision I've ever had. Greatest memory here, and especially with these guys, couldn't ask for anything better.
Nick, you remember this puck from Friday night?
I do remember that.
You signed it for us. We knew it was valuable at the time. I assume it's increased in value with Little Falls going to the state tournament.
You could put that on an auction. I'm sure somebody will want it.
That's perfect, Nick. That's always what you would say, isn't it?
Yep.
Hey, tonight you obviously had a good first goal here, an assist on a goal to Matt Philippi. And as I saw you go around the net, I saw your eyes were up. You were looking for Matt between the circles. You hit him, and he had a nice shot, didn't he?
Yeah. The hats off the Matt and finding that soft zone. And I got around the net, and I'm like, he's wide open. So I threw it to him, and hats off, sniped him. I up 1-0, and great feeling. And holy smokes, I can't describe how fun this is, man.
It is awesome, isn't it?
Now, Nick, you played in a Bantam A state tournament, but this is at a different level, isn't it?
Yep, and we're hoping not to lose that time. Bantam A's, we went 2-Q, and this year's a little different. We're gonna roll right through the state tournament, hopefully get a state championship.
You want to know something that'll blow your mind? Mark Deal just sent me something not too long ago. At one point, we almost had 2,500 people watching this game at the same time. And actually, they've already had 17,000 views of this game.
Holy Hannah. That's crazy. That is huge.
Stevens, you're a star, just like you wanted to be.
But here's where I'm going with that. On Tuesday, you're going to be on TV in front of the entire state.
That's something I always dreamed about, though. Getting there, and I can't describe how fun it's going to be. And especially with these guys, it's going to be fun.
Nick, when they introduced you, try not to fall when you skate out to the blue line.
Maybe I should throw the wings out or something.
Yeah.
And
by all means,
we can get a parachute for you.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm going to ask you, you don't have really, I mean, you have hockey here, but you're not have like the true salad like Marshall Inez has. He's got a salad, by the way.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Maybe you should come up with a wig or something out there to start.
Maybe I should just shave my hair, go bald, something new.
I'm thinking go like with a rock wig or something out there with the hair just all over the place.
That's right. Encourage the 18-year-olds, Hershey. Good job.
That's not a bad idea, Hershey. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Let's get the goal scorer next to you, George Moore. Congratulations, Nick.
Hey, thank you.
Once again, Nick Stevens, the senior. And joining us now will be George Moore. And George, congratulations, the junior defenseman. Where's number 22? We've had some conversations in between intermissions before. One of the hardest shots on the team. And tonight, you came up with the biggest shot of the season. How does it feel?
It feels great. It's really unbelievable.
Walk us through that goal that you scored here about 25 minutes ago?
I looked at Gus and I looked at Nick, and both were covered, and I saw the left side wide open, and I just shot, and then kind of everything went blurry.
Once you scored that goal, you said everything went blurry. What then happened right after that? Just total pandemonium?
Just absolute chaos. It was a surreal moment.
George, you hit a crossbar in the first overtime. You almost ended it in overtime number 1, and you get redemption in the second overtime. Talk about that shot that hit the crossbar in the first overtime.
I was just walking across the blue line, and I just took a slap shot, and the goalie didn't see it, and it rang off the crossbar.
You had to work hard tonight. Swanson, the netminder for the Fergus Falls Otters, didn't give you guys much, and you finally get the power play there in the second overtime. And we've talked about it throughout the season. You and Gunnar Gustafson have 2 of the hardest shots on the Little Falls Flyers team, and you made it pay off with that game-winning goal.
Yep, it was great to put one in.
Hey, what's it mean as a kid, growing up in the state of hockey, wanting to have an opportunity to go to the state tournament, and now realizing, wow, I'm going to the XL Energy Center on Tuesday?
It's unbelievable. It's really crazy to think about.
And the old man's taking a picture of you too right now as we speak. It's exciting, isn't it?
Very exciting.
Hey, what do you think you guys need to do now? Obviously, once you get gathered up here after the game here, get your regrouping in that. But what's something I guess you guys want to focus on when you get down to the state tournament?
We got to keep our nerves toned down, because we came out tonight a little nervous, and it was good that we got that first goal, but our nerves were kicking the whole game, and they finally started to calm down in overtime.
Well, I tell you what, your nerves didn't show in that second overtime, as he had the game winner and the 2-1 victory, and that's on the board. And here's the cool thing about your game winner. It's the final game that head coach Tony Kuchar ever behind the bench as the head coach, and it's a win, and you were a part of that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Once again, that is George Moore. And George, why don't you grab, let's see who else is out there. I know some players are starting to, they're down in the corner. Who do we want to grab next, maybe? What do you think?
Who haven't you talked to?
Let's go Matt Philippi. Let's grab him quick.
Okay. George, you're going to be our Pizza Ranch player of the game.
Thank you.
You'll get some pizza coming up here in a little bit, okay?
I'm going to ask for an extra certificate too, but don't worry, George, you'll get a certificate.
Okay.
All right, so he's going to go grab, once again, Philippi. Thanks so much. Chad Cooper just telling us that he hears lots of compliments from out of the state from a lot of parents and different people that listen. So he just said thanks to us on that.
Nice to hear.
Absolutely.
I cannot believe how many people watched this game tonight.
Yeah.
Of course, it was the final section championship to be decided. 15 teams were onto the XL Energy Center. There was one spot left. It was going to belong to the Little Falls Flyers or the Fergus Falls Otters. And George Moore's game winner at 13:05 of overtime number 2 on the power play proves to be the difference. But
everybody's scared of that microphone down there, aren't they now?
I've known Mike Donahue, the head coach of the Fergus Falls Otters, now for 17 years. He's a class act. We get along really well. I like to communicate with Mike during the season, and I want to pass on congratulations to Donahue and the Fergus Falls Otters for a game well played tonight. They just came up short. Mark Johnson, the voice of the Fergus Falls Otters, tough for him. I mean, he's trying to call the game, plus he's got 2 sons that are playing. And I could tell how emotional he was. I actually left our broadcast location to hand down the equipment so he wouldn't trip on the way down. But I feel for Mark and I feel for Mike Donahue and the Otters. This was a game that we're going to talk about for many, many years, and we've got another guest.
Yes, we do. We got Hayden Johnson. Hayden Johnson obviously helped out with that first goal on the assist. How was that for you, Hayden?
It was one fun game all game long. It was a grind, and couldn't ask for it any other way.
Hey, let's talk about that goal that was scored by Matt Philippi, which we're going to get a chance to talk to in just a moment. But you kind of started everything and got that puck over to Stevens, didn't you?
Yeah, we just tried to play as much body as we could, and we ended up getting one to the net.
This is perfect. We're getting Mom
just
to
like
take
New
a
Year's
picture.
Eve.
We got
just like New Year's Eve. Stevens has got a party favor.
Yeah, he ran into the locker room. We got a ton of stuff in there to celebrate with.
What's it like being on a line with a character like Stevens?
It's fun. You never have a dull moment with him. He brings so much energy to practice, the games. It's just a different feel to have him there every day.
Hey, Hayden, I know your brother Landon Johnson would have loved to have gone to the state tournament. Unfortunately, that didn't happen for him. But tonight, I'm sure he is excited to see you and your brother Colton get a chance to go.
Yeah, he drove home from Gustavus today, and he was crying when he came out here, and it was special.
And of course, I know your mom and dad too have got to be really excited, and I know your grandparents and family members are always watching too if they're not able to be here. So I'm sure they're having fun tonight too. If you want to say hi to them, feel free to do that too.
Our family's always been super good about giving us good support cast and always being there to watch us and watch us succeed. They always want the best for us. So I know there's quite a bit of them watching, and we love them all.
Hayden, your line mates, Matt Philippi, Nick Stevens. Matt's a sophomore, you're a junior, Nick's a senior, but the three of you have really gelled and played well down the stretch for Little Falls.
Yeah, me and Nick have played games together for 9 years now, playing summer hockey. I've played with Matt all through youth hockey. Nick came over from St. Cloud, and we just ended up gelling super well this year. We've always thought that we've been good together, and they put us together and we took off.
Hayden, I want to also give you a compliment. I thoroughly enjoyed your Flyer player profile, the interview you did with James Hershey. You gave really nice answers.
Thanks.
Here comes your dad, or he's probably like, what are you doing with that headset on? Is that what he's saying? Oh,
yeah, he's thinking he's playing video games.
Yeah, what are you doing? Hey, you know what? Coming up here on Tuesday, you'll get a chance to play at the XL Energy Center. I've asked some of your teammates already. You're enjoying this right now, but you have to get back to work again. What's something I guess you still need to get working on here as you go down to St. Paul here on Tuesday?
I think our power play is huge. We won the game because of it, and I think if we can keep working on that and making it stronger and stronger, we could make a run at that at the X.
Awesome. All right, why don't you have your line mate, Matt Philippi. He's been skating around there for a while. He's probably getting tired, you know. Hey, congratulations, Hayden.
Thanks.
Once again, that's the junior, and that is Hayden Johnson, and we'll get a chance to talk to the kid that scored the first goal of the game tonight. And Mr. Matt Philippi, how you doing tonight?
Great, obviously. How are you?
I'm doing great, and hey, congratulations on the win tonight. We've got to talk about goal number 1, as you were the one that scored the first goal, your 19th goal of the season. Let's walk us through that goal through your eyes.
Yeah, we put a forecheck on him. Nick picked up the puck and came around the net, drawed a few guys to him, and I was in the slot. He put it right on my tape, and I buried.
What's it like tonight playing against you played the Sartell Sabres on Tuesday, very physical game. Then you come out Thursday here against Fergus Falls, another physical game too. Are you tired?
Yeah, definitely. After about 5 periods of hockey here, I'm definitely really tired.
You know, the game of hockey, you've started to catch up to it, haven't you? Obviously, you started as an 8th grader. Here you sit now coming into tonight's play with a total points so far as a sophomore at 77 points. You get another point tonight, 78. But you seem that the game is finally slowing down and you're starting to be the guy that's speeding up out there. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've gained a lot of confidence over the past few years, and it's slowed down a lot.
Matt, at times you had a slow season last year, but you came into this year, you've scored 19 goals, a prolific goal scorer for the Little Falls Flyers. What did you do in the off season to get ready for this year?
I knew I needed to hit the weight room a lot. I put on about 20 pounds of weight, and I shot pucks every day, so I knew I needed to work hard, and that's what I did.
I know James Hershey asked you during your player profile, did you consider yourself a goal scorer? And you work so well with your line mates, with Stevens and Hayden Johnson. Hayden does such a nice job of distributing the puck. But in that first overtime, you had 2 chances. You hit a crossbar and a goal post. Talk about those 2 plays.
Yeah, hockey's a game of inches. Both those plays are about a half centimeter away from going in the end of the game. But it was very frustrating not going in, but we got lucky enough to bury it at the end.
That you did, and your dream is to go to the state tournament. Your dream's coming true. Of course, all your teammates, a lot of them being seniors, this was their last chance. You got a couple years yet, but you helped them out tonight. Once again, how does it feel?
Definitely. I think when we were younger, we knew this year was something special, and we knew we had a chance, so we finally put it all together.
What's that cup that everyone's carrying around? That silver cup.
That's
Tell us about that.
That's the Monday Cross Ice Champs tournament we have every Monday. We don't have a trophy here for the section championship, so we just brought that one out.
Okay, well, it looks nice.
Awesome.
It'll do in a pinch.
That'll do for now. We'd like some more hardware from downtown in St. Paul. Sound good?
Yeah, definitely.
Congratulations, Matt.
Congratulations. Enjoy it with your teammates, okay?
Thank you.
Once again, that is Matt Philippi, and thanks to him. And thanks to the Flyers, as it looks like a majority of the Flyers have gone back to the locker room now, as once again, they're victorious in this one. Our final score, 2-1, Little Falls over Fergus Falls in double overtime, Jamie Pettit.
What a night.
Wow.
I'm exhausted.
All righty, let's get a quick post-game wrap up here, at least with the game winner in that, and then we'll sign off on Flyer Media Productions, and then we'll wrap up our broadcast here on Q92 and set the stage for you down at the state tournament.
Well, the game started at 7 o'clock. I think we were pretty close to a 7 o'clock face-off, and Little Falls got the first goal of the game at 13:44 of period one. Our guest, our most recent guest, Matt Philippi, the sophomore, his 19th goal of the season. First assist, Nick Stevens. Second assist, Hayden Johnson, as we have a chance to look at it on Flyer Media Productions. Stevens back behind the net. There was Philippi driving hard between the hash marks. Poked it past Swanson and gave Little Falls a 1-0 lead. We wouldn't see another goal until the third period when the Otters would tie it at 2:09 on the power play. 21st goal of the season for Isaac Johnson as he got through a couple Flyer defenders and with a nifty backhand beat Dane Kuchar to tie the game at 1. A power play goal for the Otters, 21st of the season for Isaac Johnson. Single assist to Colton Partain. So Johnson's 21st of the season, 2:09 of the third period. On the power play, we were tied 1-1. We went through the rest of the third period without a team scoring. We finally got to double overtime, and here's the game winner. It's our first chance to look at it as Moore had it, waits, shoots, and scores from just inside the blue line, and that's the game winner tonight, the second of the season for George Moore. 10 seconds into the Flyer power play. Flyers had a power play in the first overtime. They get a power play goal in the second overtime as Moore nets his second of the year. It's the Section 6A Championship game-winning goal, single assist, Gunnar Gustafson. More from Gustafson. That's the way it reads at 13:05 of the second overtime on the power play as Little Falls beats the Fergus Falls Otters 2-1. Shots on goal tonight, 48 for Little Falls, 48 for the Fergus Falls Otters. Both goaltenders were spectacular. Spectacular performances from Kuchar and Swanson. Unfortunately, Ben Swanson ends up being the losing goaltender, but he should not hang his head. He played extremely well for the Falls, out of his effort tonight. Dane Kuchar, the winning goaltender, 47 of 48. Swanson was 46 of 48. Both teams 4 penalty game on the power play. With the win, the Little Falls Flyers improved to 13-4-1, but more importantly, they're on to the state tournament for the 7th time in team history. The loss, a tough one for the Fergus Falls Otters. They conclude the season at 15-4. Second time these two teams have played this season. Little Falls won both games by a single goal.
That they did. And so the Flyers, as you mentioned, on to the state tournament, 7th time in school history. Tuesday will be the game, and that is yet to be determined, and we will have the seeds found out tomorrow.
Yep, the coaches, the participating coaches will seed tomorrow, and we will have the Class A bracket and the Double A bracket released, I would guess, by midday tomorrow.
Probably. Section 1 winner, Dodge County. Section 2 winner, Delano. Section 3 winner, Litchfield Dassel Cokato. Section 4 winner, Gentry Academy. Section 5 winner, Northern Lakes. Section 7 winner, Hermantown. Section 8 winner, East Grand Forks. And Section 6 winner, Little Falls. That makes up the 8 teams in the Class A state tournament. As we mentioned, that'll be on Tuesday. And of course, on Flyer Media Productions, this will be our last broadcast of hockey this year, but you can still watch the Flyers coming up on Tuesday on Channel 45, as they will have the action, and we will also have the action on Q92 WYRQ Little Falls and streaming online at fallsradio.com on the radio. And now we have to say thank you to, once again, the students in Flyer Media Production, Mark Deal, Karen Warner, and the administration for, once again, making this happen.
Mark, great job. Karen, appreciate the opportunity for us to be a part of it. You guys are wonderful.
Yeah.
What a night. The number of viewers across the state and who knows throughout the world that saw this game, Little Falls winning in double overtime. We are extremely gratified to be a part of this Flyer Media Productions team.
And it's a win that'll be forever in the archives. The last game that head coach Tony Kuchar had behind the bench will be on Flyer Media Productions.
Oh, Carmen wants to be interviewed.
Oh, Carmen.
That's dangerous.
Uh-oh.
We don't have a delay, do we?
Nope, I am not sure. Oh, she was just kidding. I think she just went in there. So.
Well, she would have came on.
I know she would have. I know.
She wouldn't have hesitated.
She's in charge of a lot of things, and now she's got more things to help out and be in charge of, too, as the Flyers will head down to the state tournament coming up. So
there's so much that goes on behind the scenes to
Absolutely.
get this game on the internet. I mentioned earlier, so easy to find Flyer Media Productions. You go to YouTube, search Flyer Media Productions, and boom, there's the link because Mark Deal's all set up and ready to go.
For our viewing audience, if you do, once we're done with our radio broadcast, we will have that, once again, a game, or actually the Gabe Nagel match coming up. Unfortunately, he lost 3-2, but we'll have that coming up here following our radio broadcast.
I figured you were going to ask me about how the seeds were going to come out tomorrow.
Nah, I'm not going to ask you that. So
right.
I think that's going to be anybody's guess on that one. We'll talk about that on the radio. But once again, thanks so much, Mark Deal, Karen Warner, the entire student body all season long, and little Willie behind the camera there at center ice, a 6th grader doing a phenomenal job.
Willie's still there.
Yeah, he's still there.
Waiting for us to sign off.
Once again, thanks so much for joining us. And the Flyers, they're back to the state tournament once again. And that'll wrap it up, at least for our television broadcast in this one. Section champs, there you see it, Little Falls, the final score. Little Falls 2, Fergus Falls 1 in double overtime for the entire staff. And Jamie Pettit, I'm James Hershey.